As I've mentioned, y'all, I've got a couple weddings to go to, and the last thing that I want to be worrying about is how I'm going to be dressed. You know, sometimes when you rent a tux, you look super frumpy, the cut is out of style, and you just can't choose anything on the suit that you're renting. But with custom fitted suits from Indochino, I already know, y'all, that I'm going to look great. You're gonna look great. We collectively are gonna look great, and you're gonna look so handsome, and you can get so many compliments on this wedding, maybe more so than the wedding couple themselves. Because with Indochino, you can choose all these deets on the suit, your shirt, your dinner jacket, and all these are coming at affordable prices for these fully custom pieces. I ordered a pair of chinos from Indochino, and I gotta tell you that these are some of the best pants that I've ever worn because they're custom fit to me, y'all. I was able to just take my own measurements at home, upload them to the website, and then bing, bang, boom. A couple days later, these showed up to my door and they fit like a glove. Well, no, they fit like pants because I ordered pants. Anyway, these look great. I was really surprised with the level of customization as well, because I normally cuff my pants, and that was an option at Indochino. And when my pants came, they already came with the cuffs pinned. My partner has told me that my calves be looking great. I don't have a strong derriere, but she was saying that these pants are incredibly flattering in that region. I'll take her word for it. And if you've got the big day coming up, getting the perfect look is no big deal with Indochino. Get $50 off any purchase of $399 or more using promo code BOMB at Indochino.com. That's $50 off a purchase of $399 or more at Indochino.com, promo code BOMB.
Welcome, everybody, to the Giant Bombcast, episode 753. Your host this week is Jan Ochoa. Giant Bombcast is also starring Jeff Grubb.
Hi.
Jason A. Stryker.
I don't want to match your energy. I want to do something different.
Hi-ho.
Hi.
Jason O here.
That's a really good Kermit. I love it.
And also musical guest Jess O'Brien.
Oh, you should have said musical guest. I would have prepared a little songy thing.
Musical guest Jess O'Brien.
Hello.
Now you got 5 seconds.
Hello. To the Giant Bombcast, episode 753. We already did the intros. Is Don Pardo still alive?
Who?
I don't know who that is.
The guy that does the SNL intros.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he sounded
think
like a Spanish conquistador, like Don Pardo.
I mean, he could. He Daryl Hammond. Oh, Daryl Hammond took over, right? Dan Reichert, resident SNL expert. I want to say something off the tippy-toppity of the show. I think last week we had an email about who's the wah versions of each other, right?
Sure.
And then someone posited that, of course, Jason is the Luigi to Dan's Waluigi.
Yes.
Okay.
And that made more sense to me after Jeff Grubb and Jess posited as well that Dan Reichert is the Gonzo of the staff and that Jason is Grover, because Gonzo is 100% the wah version of Grover.
He's twisted and
sense.
Scary.
I agree.
Yeah.
Evil.
Yes,
Oh,
this is
evil.
the epiphany that I had, and then I just needed to tell this out.
Fucks chickens.
Just throwing that out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sexually attracted
Not a
to
lot to do in
chickens.
Kansas.
We're past the first minute of the show, so we can cuss and we can do obscene gestures and everything.
If it's true, it's just news, and YouTube can't do anything to stop us from saying it.
Exactly. We have a bunch of odd things planned, perhaps, that may or may not come to fruition this Bombcast. So we're going to do something weird. Not too weird. And breaking news, let's start with, as soon as I can find the sound cue, here it is, the news.
Oh, what?
What? A Up is down, left is right. This is madness, Jan.
I'm sorry, I'm the host. I'm the captain now, and I just thrive off chaos. Stranger of Paradise came out this year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, yes.
Oh, shoot.
And the DLC.
Oh, okay. I need it. Okay, that's my third horse to hitch my wagon to for Game of the Year then. Okay. Oh, boy. Jeff Grubb.
Jan, I got a bunch of news here. Should we warn people that we could receive a call, or do we want to keep that in close to our vests here?
I'm not wearing a vest, but so let's just share it to the folks at home. We may or may not be receiving a call from two special guests. Those guests being Jeff Bakalar and Lucy James. I don't know, I was going to say Lucy O'Brien. Lucy James, because this is LUCYWATCH 2022.
Oh, can you play the song again so we can it's LUCYWATCH, the news.
Okay. LUCYWATCH.
Welcome to LUCYWATCH
2022.
Where's Lucy?
LUCYWATCH 2022.
Yeah, so Lucy's coming back from Iceland. Jeff Bakalar's going to pick her up from the airport, and so at any moment they could call in, and who knows what will happen next. And then if they want to, we'll get him on the phone.
And he's dropping her off all the way here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to drive her straight across the country. They're going to make a vlog. Who knows? We'll see what happens. No, they're actually not doing that. Don't take that as a promise. All right. So we're going to do the news first so that this could be out of the way in case they show up and want to do the fun stuff. Let's start here with Hangar 13 confirms.
Jeff Grubb.
We're doing the fun stuff first.
Okay, we're doing the fun stuff first. We're not going to include them on the fun stuff. We're excluding them, in fact.
Exactly.
Like saying Hangar 13 confirms new Mafia game, says it's a few years away. To commemorate Mafia's 20th anniversary, they did an interview where General Manager Roman Hladík, does anyone else want to try to say that name? Hladík. You think Hladík? Is that right?
Hladík?
Hladík? That sounds... Okay, that sounds better than what I said. Hladík said, I'm happy to confirm we've started work on an all-new Mafia project. While it's a few years away and we can't share anything more right now, we're really excited to keep working on this beloved franchise and to entertain our players with new stories. This is maybe a bit notable because this is a studio that was working on what was described to me as a kind of Saints Row-y alien sci-fi open world game. And that was supposed to get announced.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It was supposed to get announced last E3. That never happened, and then they canceled the game. So, yeah, this studio is now going back to Mafia after working on Mafia 3, which was, relatively well received. There were some bugs.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was a little bit too much driving back and forth. But it feels like they could probably still do something with that series. Where are you all at with Mafia? I'm kind of like, I've never really clicked with one of these games.
Same. It kind of occupies the same headspace as something like The Getaway, where it's like a GTA-like that I never quite invest in. I think I'd rather go for Sleeping Dogs over Mafia.
Yeah.
Tell me more about this Alien game, though, Jeff.
Yeah, right. That's about as much as I heard about it. It was going to be sort of wacky, and it was going to have like one of but it wasn't also going to be. I don't think you were playing as the alien. Like it's not destroy all humans or something like that. But it was going to be like, yeah, you're not going to have laser guns and stuff like that, and you'd probably come across UFOs. But even if it was getting close to being able to be shown off, I don't know how close to actually coming out it was. So it seems like a concept that got started and they had like the pitch greenlit, and then after trying to work on it, they were like, maybe this isn't actually fun, or more likely, maybe they're like, it's going to cost so much money to build this up into a brand new thing. What if we spent a little bit less money and worked with an existing property like Mafia, and that way we have a better chance of success and it's less of a risk? That's probably what happened here. Yeah. When it comes to Mafia games going forward, like literally the Mafia series, is there like a spin on it that they could do that would get you guys excited? Because I'm like, maybe a modern version of Mafia, because they've done a lot of like period pieces before, where it's like, okay, this is like the 1950s or whatever, and you're going to be driving around old cars, and maybe they've gone up to like the 60s or 70s. Could they do like today, New Jersey, Jeff Bakalar's backyard? Could they do that as a game?
I don't know. I'm starting to think of True Detective, so maybe like a framing it as like a caper or something.
That could work.
I love a heist.
Yeah, I'm all about heists.
Like an Ocean's 11 kind of thing.
Yeah. Actually, maybe you're robbing the mafia, and that's how I could get into it.
Ooh, taking place like in Las Vegas, even like kind of maybe a little Godfather 2 in there. Like, yeah, that would be pretty interesting. Like, I was thinking, they brought this up on Kind of Funny, like Sopranos, just taking Sopranos, do a video game take on that. There was a Sopranos game, I think, but no, I don't mean that.
No,
like,
there was.
Still
Yes.
Be like,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
there was.
Yes, unfortunately, yes. But I almost like the idea of like, yeah, that still go in the past, set it in early Las Vegas, make it sort of like all the glitz and glamour on top and all the seedy underbelly underneath. That could be a cool setting. I'm really into that.
And, if they're trying to be budget conscious and scale back the overall scale of the game, just isolating it to Vegas and maybe the immediate surrounding desert could be cool.
Yeah. And on top of that, like that enables like some really easy monetization for like an online mode that has like these gambling mini games in it, right? And they the Strip can have a lot of in-game advertising. Is that way the developers are still thinking these days? I don't know, but like you could see the way it would maybe be easier to get a pitch like that greenlit than like we are starting up a whole new thing or trying to get that to go to market, and that's probably difficult these days. Even stuff like Saints Row, we just saw like they didn't get the budget because I don't think the people behind that, the money people behind that, never really believed that they were going to be able to compete with Grand Theft Auto. So they're like, we'll do a small scale version of one of those. That was always going to handicap that project from the very beginning, and we saw the results of that.
Yeah.
Quick question. I'm not super familiar with the Mafia series. I've only absorbed it through osmosis. But do they have humor, or are they supposed to be like lighthearted games?
I think it's
not so much. Yeah,
not so much. It's like Scorsese humor, right? It's like they do have occasional jokes. You collect Playboy magazines, like that's like one of the collectibles. Like right, that's the joke. But it's not like like
you don't use them to distract guards, though.
Yeah, right. Yes, it's not art.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real. It's not an art game that we're talking about. But there's definitely some funny scenarios, I think, but mostly they're going for a serious tone.
Okay.
Yeah. But that could change. These games have been around for a long time now, and even though the people that we're interviewing for this project are people that have worked on every single Mafia game, I'm sure a lot of that team has been swapped out, and these people are probably willing to take on new ideas if it means the series can keep going on.
Yeah, totally.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is set to launch this spring. This is a game that's been very leaky. We've heard a lot about this. This is the one that I think was previously called Rift. That was a code name. It's going to start Basim, who's one of the characters in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and he is going to the Middle East, and now you're going to play as him in these games. We've heard all that before. The game is called Mirage, and that seems to be like, oh, you're going to the desert, you're going to see a mirage, that sort of thing. We should hear like exactly all these details coming up on September 10th when Ubisoft has their Ubisoft Forward event. The big details about this is they are mostly they are choosing not to go with the RPG style elements for this game. So there won't be leveling up. There won't be dialogue options. You can't choose your own character, gender, or something like that. 'Cause you're playing as Basim. They are going back to an older style of Assassin's Creed, much more like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and Brotherhood and stuff like that. And then once they go to Infinity, the game that is a live service version of Assassin's Creed after this, that'll go back to being more like the RPG. And it seems like these two things might try to coexist going forward, where they'll have a pathway forward to do the less RPG version of Assassin's Creed, while the live service version is going to be the RPG thing. I mean, the Middle Eastern setting, I think, is, appealing. They haven't done that since basically the first game. And it's like having a chance to like rebuild that stuff up is exciting to me. Is anyone else into that idea for Assassin's Creed?
I saw this story on the breakdown, and then I kind of got that craving for an old school, and it feels weird to say old school, but
it is now, though, yeah.
an old school Assassin's Creed game where I just want to climb up ceilings and rooftops and just parkour and dive into bales of hay. I'm kind of hankered for it.
Yeah, I think if it's like got a lot of stealth action stuff, I'm like, yeah, I could go for like sneakily going along rooftops and then jumping on a guy with a blade on my wrist. Yeah, I will always be down for that. And a lot of these games have gotten away from that. So if they focus on that, I think this could be a success.
Give me
the only.
Jess, go ahead, please. No,
the only Assassin's Creed that I've played is Black Flag, which I liked a lot. But then it was just too long for me, and I realized that the thing I really liked about it was the whaling, and I was like, I'm just all in I just want a whaling game for some reason. What's wrong with me?
Jess, can I introduce you to fishing games?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the gateway drug to fishing games is the whaling mini game, because I was just like, I was just there's something about it. Made my brain happy to hunt those whales and stuff, which is awful.
when I was in my very much my content mill phase of being a games journalist, when that got announced as a feature, I'm like, I'm going to ask the ASPCA what they think about whaling in this game, and I just got like a inflammatory headline, and it did really great traffic, and I was paid by like how much traffic I got. So I'm like, all right, yeah,
got him.
money. I'm a little shit. So yeah, that's what I think about whenever I think about the whaling in that game.
I think about how scary those damn sharks were. Jesus, they were scary.
Whales are terrifying too, though.
They're huge. Yeah, they could eat you. You could live in their belly.
If there was a real like boss monster of the real world, it's probably whales and sharks.
Whales, sharks, giant squids. Giant squids are terrifying.
Giant squids.
Do you ever get to fight a giant squid in Black Flag? Is that like the final boss of the whaling minigame?
There's probably like a kraken.
Yeah, I think you see a kraken. I think it's like a scene. Ugh.
Damn.
Man, I should play Black Flag again. That's a good video game. Man, whenever I think about whales, it freaks me out that they breathe oxygen like us, that they're just other forms of mammals. That's the weirdest thing to me. You should have gills. You are unnatural, and then
You're not like us.
They're bigger than me, so I don't say that to their face. All right, Logitech's cloud gaming handheld leaks with Android apps and Switch-like UI. This comes from Tom Warren at The Verge. You can see a picture here in the rundown. It looks like a kind of a Switch Lite almost. This comes from Tom. He says Logitech's new cloud gaming handheld has leaked weeks before the company teased it was working on the new device, or weeks after the company teased it was working on the new device. Logitech G and Tencent Games confirmed their plans for a dedicated handheld earlier this month. And now Evan Blass, who's someone I used to work with, shout out to Evan, has tweeted pictures of the handheld, which revealed access to the Google Play Store alongside support for Xbox Cloud Gaming and NVIDIA's GeForce Now service. So basically, it looks like an Android phone with a controller built in. And this means you should be able to play stuff like, Call of Duty Mobile natively on the device. Who knows how well that's going to run? Probably pretty well,
Fortnite,
though.
maybe? Yeah.
A little Fortnite, exactly.
Oh, Jason.
And then if you want to, you could stream Fortnite from like NVIDIA, because NVIDIA supports that. Oh, and Xbox Game Pass now does as well. And that works free. You don't have to have anything for the Xbox Game Pass streaming of Fortnite. So you're going to have a lot of options there. I am someone who is all in on the Steam Deck. So I see this thing and I'm like, this is, well, I'm also like I got a terrible brain. I still end up buying a lot of these things. I literally have just bought one recently. So like, what am I saying? But I see this. I'm like, does this provide a solution to any of my specific gaming problems? And, not necessarily, but I could see some people thinking like, I do already play a lot of mobile games. Having a controller and have an advantage would be nice. And then I could play some real games and maybe subscribe to Xbox Game Pass and do some stuff. But for anyone else here, is this kind of thing that you might feel like could serve your gaming needs?
There are still so many emulators, in the Google Play Store that you can download. And this is, depending on the price point, this could be a really, really effective solution. As opposed to like a Steam Deck or something like that, which does an amazing fucking job at emulation. But this could be like a cost-effective way of doing that.
Yeah,
right. We don't know the price, but the assumption here is it will be much less than a Steam Deck. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I would hope so. I don't immediately see this appealing to me, but like in different markets where mobile gaming is huge, because Call of Duty Mobile is doing gangbusters. In other markets, this could be like, I don't want to say a killer app, but like something that is incredibly appealing over there versus here.
Mm-hmm. I think that's right. Also, maybe it is the kind of thing where it does kind of have a little bit of a Play School vibe. Some people in chat are saying that, was this the kind of thing that if it is cheap enough, let's say it is $99, like Jason, would you be willing to like hand this to the kids and say, you know what, you can kind of be kind of rough on this. This is yours, and just go to town, because it's not exactly throwaway price, but $99 compared to like even like a Switch Lite at $250, that is a little bit easier to just hand over a kid and give them control, right?
Yeah, totally. This is something that could be right up Griffin's alley, I think. He loves a Switch, but maybe he gets into the older games or something like that, and we emulate some stuff. Who knows? Yeah. But he could also do play Xbox games, over the cloud. That could be helpful as well. That's cool.
Yes, exactly. The Retroid Pocket 3 I got that I pre-ordered. It's on its way. It's pretty similar to this. It is an Android-based emulation handheld with all the controls and all that stuff like that. And it has the Google Play Store. It has like a 5.5-inch screen. I'm not sure how big this one. I think this one's a little bit bigger. That one is about $120. The Retroid Pocket 3 I got $120. So I would expect this one from Logitech and Tencent to probably be like $150 actually, and not really $99. But still,
I see a lot of parents like giving their kids, like when they're super young, maybe toddlers even, whenever I go out, and like they have like a Kindle Fire tablet.
That's
like how much are Kindle Fire?
$35 on sale, and so whenever they go on sale, I almost like, oh, I should just get another backup, because we were driving here, they dropped one, and literally that day I just we were at the gas station when she dropped it, and I just ordered another one. It showed up when we got there, and I replaced it. It was like not even a second thought. $35 for this entertainment thing, and it has I do the subscription like $2-3 a month, and it gives you like all these apps and books and stuff for free as part of the subscription. Dang. It's like the safe little place for them to play in. Like this is a no-brainer, and it's if a gaming device could sort of like slot into that same niche, I think it could work. I think but it's also like you have to be able to play the games the kids want. This should be able to play most of them. It should be able to play Roblox. It should be able to play Minecraft, Fortnite, all that stuff.
Yeah,
like, something like this could start to like maybe take off. I think you're more right, Jan, though. In other territories, it will have a much better chance than here, where I think people are probably just going to end up getting a Switch Lite or a Switch instead.
Right. Last thing before we move on to the next story, I do have like a couple other friends that are like new parents, and I'm curious about the dads here. When does the desire kick in and to actually expose your child to a proper gaming console versus like just a tablet? Because one of my friends that's now a dad is kind of upset that his child is playing a Mario knockoff that's very bad that he got for free on like the Apple App Store. And then for some reason, he's also very fixated that his child is not going to be able to develop proper motor skills because he's using digital analog sticks versus physical analog sticks.
That'll be fine.
Was there ever like a desire of like, or concern of like, when do I show them real things?
That came naturally for us because I was already using the consoles. So he'd see me with a controller. He'd want to hold a controller as well. And it was just a matter of getting a game that he was interested in. And in our case, it was Paw Patrol, which is actually like a fantastic way of teaching children controls.
And on Game Pass. Yeah.
Like they show like, the on-screen prompts for what you have to hit, and it's big and it's bright and it's like no questions asked. I got to hit the A button. So that helped him ease into it. When he does tablet gaming, it seems like more of a just out of convenience sake than anything. Like somebody's using the TV or something like that, and he's got a hole up in his fort or something, so he'll bring his tablet in with him and play something. And I imagine that's probably what it's like for a lot of kids, is just like the convenience of it. You've got your own screen, which is awesome, right up to your face. Whatever the digital controls are, because they haven't been indoctrinated into like physical
they don't
controllers
care.
yet. They don't care. Just whatever works. So
Dan cares. He says if my kid used a digital analog stick, I'd put him up for adoption.
Nice. Just like all his animals.
Big Gonzo energy.
Oh
yeah.
Oh boy.
It's so interesting to see my kids, like, they treat tablet stuff different than the console stuff, and they've just started like really getting like, they've always wanted to have the controller. And my kid always was like, hey, give me the Switch so I can play Mario. But in the past couple of weeks, they've really gotten into this Pico Niku game I've talked about a couple of times from Devolver.
I love that game.
It's very good. It's like they're sisters. They fight all the time. And I'm trying to encourage them to work together to solve it without coming to me every time and be like, Dad, she's being mean to me. I'm like, no, you guys got to start solving these things on your own. And that game very much encourages that stuff. And they're both getting used to using the controller. The funniest thing is, and I think I probably told this on content, but I'm going to say it again. I had them playing the Switch. And then they were playing on the like an Xbox controller or a Stadia controller, which has the A button down here. And then she went back to the Switch, and I'm like, okay, now hit the A button. And I see her pressing the B button repeatedly. And she's like, it's not working, Dad. It's not working. She's like 3. And I look down and I said, oh no, the A button is switched over here. I'm like, I know that's frustrating. Listen, it's a problem for everybody. It's a problem for everybody. It's not your fault. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh my God, they're already having little gamer issues. It's very funny. But yeah, it's happening right now, both for the 3 and 5 year old. The 5-year-old is much more interested in grabbing the controller and playing along with us when, like, we have friends over. We were playing on the Simpsons arcade machine. She definitely wanted to be there with us playing that. So
cool.
Yeah.
A monkey see, monkey do situation.
Oh yes, 100%. All right, let's see here. The PS5 price is going to increase at least 10% in every territory except for the United States. Except, and let's touch on this now, in the United States, you can only get it in the $550 bundle. That includes Horizon, at least any time recently. Every time anyone's looked for a version of the PS5 right now, it is that version. So you're still paying extra here as well. It's just something that is kind of unprecedented, and yet also something that isn't at all, feel all that surprising. Everything's going up in price. And so if you are a company that has seen all your costs go up, you feel like, well, we could get away with it now because everyone else is raising their prices. There's been a backlash against this, especially in territories where it's happening. Especially in Japan, where it seems like it's going up even more than other places in terms of like the percentage increase. Wow. And Japanese gamers are feeling a little bit like, why are we being treated this way when you're not treating the United States this way? We were your home territory. But at the same time, they are probably going to get away with this. They are going to still sell every PS5 they're going to sell. So what is the actual damage in the long term? Like maybe we will see the return of people thinking that Sony's being a little bit arrogant. But if they keep releasing games that everyone wants to play, it's going to undo this really quickly, right? That kind of saying, what are you going to do? You're going to boycott PlayStation. No, you're going to want to play those games. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen here, right?
Yeah. Do you think the resale market has at all influenced Sony's decision to do this? Because with how hard it was and still is to an extent to get a PS5, there were so many people paying aftermarket prices, like upwards to like $800 to $1,000, right? Just to have it because it was the must-have thing. Do you think like they're kind of like kicking rocks and being like, we could have done it. We could have done it.
100%. I think 100% Sony, and I think also Microsoft, but definitely Sony regrets launching at 500 instead of 600. Now, they didn't know the pandemic was coming, but I think even without the pandemic, $600 would have been accepted by most people. And, as we saw, the price was well above 600. It still is. It seems like on the resale, even as like this becomes more easily available, well above 600, and a lot of people are paying that price. And Sony is thinking, why shouldn't we be the ones to get that money? And that's basically what is happening here, is them saying, we just want to get a little bit more of that money. We're not going to go all the way up to 600 or 700 or some crazy price. Just, everyone's got to pay more, so give us $50. The weird thing about this is if you read the blog post from Jim Ryan and the way he phrased it, he's like, we know everyone's hurting right now. Everyone's got to pay more, so pay us more. It was a wild thing. Yeah, but it was a wild thing to read. I don't get why he is able to. I don't know. They should just have someone else come up and talk instead of him.
Everybody's hurting all over. We're hurting.
We're hurting. We're Sony. We're hurting.
That's why we haven't brought Sly out.
We're all in this together, so pay me. It's always a good message. Xbox and Nintendo have been asked about this, and they've separately responded, basically both saying we have no plans to raise our prices. Now, that's a little bit easier for Nintendo to say because they did raise their price by launching the OLED, and the OLED is $50 more than the launch price of the original Switch. And so they found a way to kind of get more average sales price for their systems going forward. Xbox also is very, very rich, and so they can just afford to keep taking a loss if that's what's happening. They probably are, and they have been, and they always plan to. So for them, this is all still part of the plan, even if it is like elongating and maybe exacerbating the profit margins or lack thereof for the system. I don't know. Everyone here does everyone here have a PlayStation 5 already?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've even bought some for my friends. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I think that's another thing is the audience that is the most vocal and is most like, you shouldn't do this, Sony. This could hurt us. They mostly already have PS5s. And so making like the demand is still there, but it's going to be people who are a little bit less tuned in, a little bit less likely to be listening to a podcast like this. And maybe you can get away with it. And I think, I think they will. Do you guys think they will pay any long-term price for this?
I think
it.
no. I think like after the immediate backlash, if they were to raise prices here, people would eventually get over it and accept it. Mm-hmm. 100%. I don't think folks would care, because if Sony officially would start charging upwards to like 600, 650, I think folks would see that and be like, well, if it's readily available and I don't have to pay $800 on StockX, I'll do it.
Right? Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, and
Important update. I caught the bug that was in my room.
Yay! USA,
Our national nightmare is over.
USA. The weird thing here, though, is now we have a new PS5 model, and this is another story, but definitely related. This is a new iteration of the PlayStation 5 that is releasing now in Australia and in Japan, and it reportedly makes the console a little bit lighter, which we don't know yet because no teardowns have been done, but that almost assuredly means they're using less cooling materials in the cooling assembly. Probably less copper, maybe a little bit less aluminum or whatever the shit is. I actually don't know, but definitely copper's in there.
Yeah.
And copper's expensive, and they're trying to use as little of that as possible.
Yep.
But we won't know until someone does a full teardown. Either way, this is the new model CFI 1200, and it lowers the weight to a point where, let's see, at the launch, the disc version was 4.5 kilograms. Now the new version is 3.9 kilograms. And if you remember, they did a revision in 2021 as well that also lowered the weight. So that's like, a couple steps in there where they've been lowering the weight all along. This isn't too surprising. These companies always revise these systems to try to make more of a profit from each system and reduce their costs and to make it easier to manufacture and make it easier to make a lot of these systems. It's just weird that this, for example, in Japan, this system, this new model is launching officially on September 15th, the same day that the price goes up by 10% or whatever it is, 20%, whatever it is in Japan. So
weird.
It's like they're saving money on manufacturing and making more money by charging more in Japan. And that feels like kind of a 1-2 punch where it's like, okay, they're not passing their savings on to us in any way. In fact, they're actually charging more. And that feels, it's got to be frustrating for those gamers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you suppose it's lighter. Do you suppose the dimensions are the same or a little bit smaller or what? Because the PS5 is a pretty big boy.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
So externally, it is still the same exact chassis so far. Now, you're on the right track there. Eventually, they're going to do a slimmed down version, but this is not it yet. This is just.
And I imagine that would be useful for the Japan market because they, generally speaking, have less space to work with than American households and a lot of European households and stuff like that. And it's like that's a rather large console, and freeing up space on your entertainment system might be kind of nice.
That was their plan all along, was to just like edge out the Xbox by edging out the console space. That's
Smart.
what it was.
All right, we have breaking news. Breaking news. Dan Reichert in chat says, "Hey Grub, Quarterman here with a hot rumor about a Nintendo Direct coming as soon as next week."
Whoa!
Okay. Anything more you can add would be fantastic. Also, the link to the link to that doc is in the Bombcast thing. Stay tuned, folks. He says. Also, if you just want to jump in with just voice and talk about it, you can.
But take Bakalar's VMix link.
Yeah, there you go. Take back ours VMix link. There you go. Fantastic. So let's hop down. The Game Mess calendar. Let's talk about some of these other events, and then we'll wrap this in. I have little else that I can say right now. Okay, fair enough. Well, I got a little bit more I could say. So there's events coming up throughout this September. It's going to be a big event month. It seems like almost an extension, a little bit of E3, where it felt like E3 was a little bit underwhelming. Seems like a lot of stuff might show up here in September, starting with
May I show this, Jeff Grubb?
Yeah, please, absolutely.
Okay. Just want to clear with you.
Wait, actually, let me double check, make sure I deleted that one thing. Yes, I did. Okay.
You sure?
September, I am sure. Yes, okay. I am positive. Yes, we're good. September 9th, Disney and Marvel Games Showcase. We are expecting to hear about that. The one Marvel ensemble game is how they described it. We still don't know what that is. Maybe Fantastic Four, maybe something else along those lines. Maybe an X-Men game. Then September 10th, we talked about this early, Ubisoft Forward Assassin's Creed thing. They should give us all the details on Assassin's Creed Mirage, we said, as well as Infinity. And then I think they will announce both of the first major settings for Infinity. They will at least talk about that one that's set in Asia and likely in Japan. But then there's another one that I've heard about that it's pretty exciting. And spooky is the tease I'm willing to give.
Spooky.
Yes, exactly. It's spooky. And then the week of September 12th is what I've heard. So I'm wondering, okay, as soon as next week, let's look at this calendar. So this is Nintendo Direct. There is definitely 100% a Nintendo Direct in September. I think that the people I've talked to, beyond what we're hearing from Dan Reichert here in chat, is what version of a Nintendo Direct is it going to be? Is it going to be a partner Direct? which is the kind of thing that we got in June, where Nintendo's third-party partners all showed up. Now, I know for sure some third parties are definitely showing up in this thing, but they also do need to talk about like Zelda, whatever they're doing with Zelda, and then they have to talk about Metroid Prime, which we know is coming later this year for this holiday, the remaster. So I think it's very likely that this is going to at least be a mini and maybe a full general direct. I suppose we can open it up. Does anyone here have any predictions for what we'll see in a Nintendo Direct in September?
The safe bet is they're going to show a trailer to re-promote Splatoon 3.
Yeah, and it's if it comes like because when Splatoon 3 launching, it could if it's happening like this
9th?
week. Right, exactly. So if it does happen in this, let's see. Let me look at the calendar. Let's see. So the 6th is like next Tuesday. So if it does happen next week, it could go anywhere between
September
the
9th.
and the 9th. Yeah, the 9th. Okay, 9th. What I've heard is the week of the 12th. So I've heard 2 weeks from now. But maybe, they could, maybe that could be wrong and it could be next week. But Dan said as soon as next week. I'm sorry, yeah, Quarterman said as soon as next week. Either way, like if they show more with Splatoon, I think they're going to have like a bunch of stuff for like early next year as well.
Sure.
I think this is probably when we get the Zelda name, right? For Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, like... If it's not, like,
we've been waiting so long. Come on, at least tell us the name.
Exhale of the Wild.
Yeah. And they've teased like, oh, the name is important, and if they give us the name, it's like, okay, maybe this game actually is going to come out someday. If they don't, I'm going to be like actually kind of worried about it. Like, is this thing still a year away? That would be really disappointing. So, yeah, what do you think?
Y'all have more of a reverence for Zelda than I do. What if?
Fair enough.
What if they don't call it Legend of Zelda?
I mean, I think that if they went like with an Adventures of Link sort of direction, that was Legend of Zelda, the Adventures of Link, Legend of Zelda 2 or whatever, that they could still keep Zelda in there. But if they want to say like Adventures of Link and then do a Breath of the Wild spin on the subtitle, I think that would be very cool as well. They could totally get away with that now.
I just presume that they would prefer to just keep the branding though, because it's such a strong brand,
That would be my default assumption there, but I think they could get away with it. Like they
could probably get away with it though.
Yeah, the brand is so popular at this point that if they wanted to do a little spin on that, they could. But I think I agree with you, Jess, that they probably will just play it safe and call it The Legend of Zelda - something.
But if they did the Adventures of Link, they could just, show all the stuff that he did before he was supposed to go get Zelda. It's like, I'm sorry, I got to cook these apples before I come and rescue you.
Gotta fall down this mountain on the shield, dog.
Yep. Woo!
Yeah, I expect
they
to see a lot of ports and stuff. Go ahead, Jan, please.
Advance Wars, could they finally just drop that?
Yeah, I think
that would be something that would be like a day one thing, probably, or like a
shadow
drop,
a shadow drop, because one of the issues with that is you don't want to be seen as marketing a game that is about war. At least Nintendo doesn't want to be seen that way, it seems like. And so the way to avoid that is don't market it, just release it. And I don't think that would cause any sort of fervor against them. And I think they might know that now. But it's tough to say, and it's just as likely that we don't hear about that game again until next year sometime. So I would love that. I would love to just be playing that game. It's ready. It's finished. I mean, obviously we know that when it got delayed, it was finished and about to come out. So that's a shame. And I'm trying to think, like, do you think like there's any like surprise game, or are we too close to like a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 to get like the next Mario update or something like that?
When was the last Donkey Kong related game?
Like proper Donkey Kong?
Tropical Freeze?
I think it was Tropical Freeze, yeah.
It's like 7 years ago. Yeah.
We're overdue for a Donkey Kong game, guys.
Are we?
Right.
Are we?
That's one of the rumors, is that the Mario team is working on a Donkey Kong game instead, and that would be whatever that's going to end up looking like. I'm into it. I would hope that we'd hear about it soon. But like, do you think like they're going to save that to launch with whatever the next Switch is?
Maybe. Yeah.
You saved Donkey Kong for the launch?
Well, I mean, the Mario team game, right? It's the game from the people that made Super Mario Odyssey is kind of what it was. But I mean, you're right. Donkey Kong maybe isn't the... maybe it looks like a game of the year, so we'll just be won over by it.
I want more Pikmin.
Sure.
Well, we all do. Have you seen Tinykin? I mean, we'll talk about it later, but have you seen Tinykin?
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
No, I haven't really.
Play it. It's like Pikmin as a platformer. It's so good.
I
all
will
right.
only be interested in a Donkey Kong game if Donkey Kong befriends a sentient being that inhabits his tie, and then he throws his tie to take over people instead. And then we just call it tie.
Tai, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Tai the Tie. Yeah. It's new character of the year.
You're welcome,
Absolutely.
Nintendo.
Nintendo, hire this man.
Chad is very excited about your ideas, Jan. Absolutely. We'll see. I'm wondering when they announce that they're going to do this Nintendo Direct, probably relatively soon. But people were thinking it's going to happen on like September 1st, and would get announced today. That hasn't happened. So I'm still the date time frame I've heard is the week of September 12th. We'll see if that actually plays out, or if it comes a little bit sooner than that. And then to round out this list, Tokyo Game Show begins on September 15th and runs through the 18th. The big things of that is we expect a couple of good Capcom streams. One will be about new game announcements, it seems like. The other one will be deeper dives into Street Fighter 6 once again. And then in October, we get the Dead Space gameplay reveal. They've done a bunch of like spooky times. Yes, they've done a lot of like good updates about like the technology for that game. I am ready to just see the full gameplay laid out in front of us. Again, from the beginning, I've heard that this game looks, and it was, I think, quote unquote, shit hot. It looks so good, according to the people that have seen it. So,
This doesn't
shit
sound
hot.
like a compliment.
Apparently it is, and I'm into it. And then
Who are you
Consult a
quoting on
doctor.
that?
Like,
I'm quoting one of my sources. I can't say.
is this also
no
Dan?
Yes,
Shigeru
Dan
Miyamoto
Reichert said
says-
shit hot. Yeah, Shiggy says shit hot. Dead Space.
Miyamoto here. This game is shit hot.
Yeah, put that in the headlines, everybody.
Bad
and
news.
then
There's a second fly. There's a second fly. No.
Oh my God.
Damn it.
There's one.
Are you
There's always
kidding?
another. Those motherfuckers. Persona Super Live P-Sound Wish 2022 Crossing Journey. P-Sound.
Dan, you have to come in right now and play your toilet flush sound effect.
Play
Dan,
your
who are
toilet
you?
flushing sound.
I don't have one.
Quarter Dan does not say
Quarter
shit
Dan.
hot. He says. Oh my God.
P sound.
Persona Super Live P-Sound Wish 2022 Crossing Journey. I mean, that's what they called it. Laugh all you want. This is what they chose. They had full control here, and these are the words they put in this order. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
I'm just laughing at Jan laughing. He can't deal with this.
Man, Styles
Why is it
P,
P-Sound?
Lies of P, P-Sound.
It's a P-heavy year, everybody. We're drowning in P here.
I had to
So
mute my
that's-
mic.
Oh.
Let's do the thing where I laugh too much, I burp. Oh no.
That's the Game Mess calendar for September. I suppose we can get back into the regular news now.
my
Thank you
tummy
for that
hurts.
derailment, Dan Reichert. And Quarter Dan, of course.
Whoever wants to
all
be
right.
on the Bombcast and just sit there and chat and interject.
Absolutely.
He says he'd be quiet during the news segment, but he chimes in the most in
Yep.
chat during the news segment.
All right, let's
The
keep this-
duality
let's
of
keep this
Dan.
train rolling.
What can I say?
There it is. Absolutely.
Oh, if we
Valve
have
is
the letter
going-
of the year, it's gonna be P again, huh?
Oh,
It's gonna be
100%.
P.
Yep. And now we should have it. Absolutely.
Ah, shoot.
Valve is going to make more Steam Decks, kind of obviously. They just put it in writing inside a booklet that they're sending to Japan for an audience that isn't exactly aware what Valve is. They're like, hey, we're Valve. We make a bunch of stuff, blah, blah, blah. At the end of that booklet, it says, Steam Deck represents the first in a new category of Steam handhelds, handheld gaming PCs. In the future, Valve will follow up on this product with improvements and iterations to hardware and software, bringing new versions of Steam Deck to market. Kind of doesn't get plainer than that. Also, I mean, yes, obviously they were going to do this. I suppose the one reason this might be noteworthy is that Valve has done gaming hardware in the past that has fizzled out. We didn't get much after the Steam Link was relatively successful, and we didn't get much after that. They did the Steam controller. There was one version of that. They did the Steam machines, I think they were called. And that stuff just also like came and went. But they've done the Index, and that's been around. I guess they haven't done an Index 2, so maybe that's another example of like, okay, they do hardware, but they haven't done like follow-ups. This thing is one of the best-selling gaming PC devices of all time already. So, a gaming laptop doesn't sell as well as the Steam Deck is selling. They're gonna make more of these 100%.
Right, but we'll never see a third one.
Exactly. They'll never get a Steam Deck 3.
Yep.
Are you guys like excited about about an iteration or revision of the Steam Deck? Or are you just kind of happy with one you have? Or I'm just happy to have the one I have.
I don't have one.
Wait, are you waiting for a revision, or is it just not something that fits into your life? Either way, I mean, yeah.
I don't think it's something that I need right now. You know, I got a nice PC. My partner has a nice PC. We don't travel very often right now, so it's just kind of like the Switch is kind of our travel thing, and we both have a Switch, and our flights that we take aren't that long either. Like 3 hours tops, so it's it's just not really a priority purchase in my life right now. I think
I get it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. For me, it's like all those things are true, and then the kids are always using the TV, so I do need one, and that's where it fits into my life. But it's
there you go.
Yeah. But if I
don't have
like
a kid to watch where we have to be semi-attentive in the same room with them or anything like that. So,
that's exactly what it is. Yeah. And it's like if I, I have the TV back here, and if I could just be sitting there playing games all the time, like, I probably wouldn't need the Steam Deck either. But it's like the Steam Deck as is. A lot of people are like, oh, I will wait for the second one. And I don't get that. I think it's exactly what it needs to be right now. I understand some people think the battery life is too short, but it's about equivalent to the Switch, right? So I'm like, this is great as is, and I just don't have a lot of confidence that a Steam Deck 2 is going to start at like $400. I think it's probably going to go up in price a little bit next time around. So.
I also feel like if I had a portable PC that I could bring into bed with me, my sleep schedule would get drastically worse than it already is.
Hell yeah.
And it's bad.
And it's bad. My manager can attest. My sleep schedule is not compatible with normal human life or schedules.
You would be so tardy if we had a physical office to go to.
Oh my god! Look, no. Like the thing is that if I have to be there, I'll do it. But like since I work from home, it's like, well, I get my work done.
If we had time cards, Jess.
I'd either be in trouble or straighten up and fly right immediately.
The longest job I had before I started writing about games was at FedEx, a little bit after high school. I worked there for 2 years, and I eventually got fired for showing up late too many times. And, I always show up late to every job. It's baked into the point where I'm like, I need to be a job where I'm like, it just matters when the stuff goes live, not when I show up for the thing. That's fine.
Yeah, like this is a nice change because I was miserable at previous jobs where it's like I gotta be here, like showing up to the escape room at 8 a.m. for a child group of tons of children for a school field trip. It's like I'll be there, but not like I'm not mentally going to be there at all.
Now
like,
you work with a bunch of children.
Yay! And they sleep late sometimes, so I can do that.
It sucked. They showed me the video footage of me like walking in, and the clock is like right there, and it's like 5 minutes past when I was supposed to be there. I'm like, all right,
wow, petty.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really petty.
Yeah, it sucked. Ahead of Twisted Metal's expected game reboot, its TV show has finished filming. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC.
Oh, wow.
The first season of the Twisted Metal TV series has concluded filming. The series, which will star Will Arnett, Anthony Mackie, and Samoa Joe, has seemingly been completed, according to a tweet from showrunner Michael Jonathan Smith. I think I want to watch this because it sounds like it sounds like a car crash is what it sounds like. So,
got it.
I've seen a couple. I've seen not a lot of Twisted Metal, but I've seen the endings, like just here and there, Twisted Metal, and they're like up there with Tekken endings, where it's like,
well, we should rank those next.
Oh boy,
yeah, I know, right? It's like it's up there. It's on the short list of other potential
just lit up.
other potential games to rank endings of. It's high up on the potential list. But yeah, like I can't imagine adapting such a thing because it's something that I feel like has never been serious or even had much of a plot. It's just like everyone has their little individual plots and they want to win the competition. And it's like, how do you like expound that into a show where there's characters
I didn't even
that
put
matter?
The paragraph in here that described what the plot is. I think it's basically Anthony Mackie plays a former convict who gets a chance to come free if he drives across the country, but he's getting chased down by some like law enforcement. And then Samoa Joe plays the ice cream, like the Sweet Tooth, the ice cream truck driver, as the body, and then Will Arnett's voice will be coming out of his face. So we're gonna have yes, that's true. It's Samoa Joe's body and face and all that stuff, and then Will Arnett is doing the voice, which I think
Why is Will Arnett Sweet Tooth? That's not...
I mean, I think it's like kind of an inspired idea where it's like, get this like super physical, awesome Samoa Joe out there doing the physicality, and then really contrast that with Will Arnett's voice coming out of him.
The guy from the Mucinex commercials, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Mucinex, basically Sweet Tooth.
The soothing, dulcet tones of the Mucinex commercials.
Of the little mucus monsters, absolutely.
Excuse me, he's the second best Batman. Will Arnett.
Yeah, that's definitely true, actually. Yeah, I'm into his Batman character. Yeah, this will be coming. Obviously, this is Sony's strategy right now. We make movies, we make TV. We also have very successful games. Let's leverage those things against one another. They have not. I don't think they've announced the Twisted Metal game. If they have, it's been just like, oh, we are working on that. But they've talked about this show. They are also working on a Twisted Metal game. It was originally, going to be free to play. That got rebooted. I'm not sure if it is still free to play, but a Twisted Metal game will come out alongside this or at some point later. To me, I'm like, I don't know what you do with Twisted. Like, a show is one thing. This doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. It's a show. I don't care if it's bad, whatever. If I never even care about it, I don't care. But a Twisted Metal game feels like it's the kind of thing where I don't know how you make that today. What do you guys think?
Well, I just
Jessica,
wanted
you go
to.
First. I didn't have anything to add.
my hand was up. I didn't want to interrupt. I was just, a question for the team. Since Sony is like, we do games, we make movies too. Let's do both. What do you think would be one of the weirder like game IPs to turn into like a Netflix movie or show or something like that? I think maybe like Crash Bandicoot, live action.
Yeah.
A live action movie to be.
I think if it was a man,
I'm sure they still have that suit.
Oh yeah,
yes, exactly. If
yeah.
it was a man in a suit, I think it would be a great show.
Yeah.
Or if it was
But
like a
who's
BoJack
voicing
Horseman,
him?
where Will Arnett.
Arnett,
Yeah, of course. Will Arnett in a Crash Bandicoot suit, and he's like trying to get back in the game, trying to get hired again after his heyday is over. Basically,
That'd
just
be
BoJack
actually
Horseman.
kind of like good and funny though.
I think it could
I don't
totally
think I don't think they go for that angle. It's actually good.
You're right. Yeah, it's actually a good idea. So they wouldn't
I think.
make it,
Oh,
yeah.
Ape Escape in the chat. That's a good suggestion because
Oh, that
they
would
kind
be
of make
fun.
it gritty. They make it a little bit gritty
Yeah.
and get like an action hero guy to catch the apes. And they wouldn't be cute. They'd be normal monkeys with like a disease or something. They have to stop
Oh,
them.
Jesus.
Someone's saying MAG, massive action game, that 120 player game. Katamari Damacy, that would be live action Katamari Damacy.
Imagine.
What do you do with Jumping Flash or Vib Ribbon?
God, that just sounds like a motion sickness nightmare.
Right?
Will Arnett is I in Super Monkey Ball. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Astrobot is the easiest thing because
That'd be a good cartoon.
Disney Plus has like a bunch
Good
of
show, yeah.
really small shorts, like I'm Groot and like their Up stuff, the Big Hero 6 show, and those are just like 5-minute bites. So I could see like, hey, we need something for kids, like a streamer is asking, and then they see Astrobot and could do that.
That Big Hero 6 show is pretty fucking good, man. Oh my god.
It's fun. It's a good one. I love Baymax and on Cass.
Kane Hindwin has the good one. Revolution X. It's Aerosmith just saving the day against an army of leather-clad ladies or whatever. I can't remember that game anymore, but I played a lot of times with the roller
Shipping
rink.
CDs, that shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
let's see.
the suggestion of medieval and get Jason Sudeikis to be Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Nice.
Sure.
All right, let's keep moving. Game Pass for Friends and Family has been reportedly discovered on the Xbox backend. A logo for Xbox Game Pass Friends and Family has reportedly been discovered, which could suggest an official multi-user subscription could be coming soon. The alleged logo for the service was found by a Lumia Italia, a Twitter user who scrapes the Xbox backend, which sounds like a filthy job.
Gross.
Earlier this month, Microsoft announced that it was testing a new tier of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in Ireland and Colombia that would allow members to share their memberships with multiple other users. That would amount to $25 per month for a family plan that I think would enable you to have up to a total of 5, including you, as opposed to $15 per month for Game Pass Ultimate for a single person. So it sounds like a pretty good deal. Sounds like the kind of thing where like we have a certain group of people who will pay for the service, and they would pay more if it enables them to like get their kids and their best friend all in the same group, so they have somebody to play with. I think it's kind of that simple. This thing is probably going to launch here pretty soon. Do any of you see a use for this? I mean, I guess we could do it on the staff. We're all friends and family, right?
Yeah. If Giant Bomb is about anything, it's family. And
family,
deals.
right?
And deals.
Now, now, Jan, when you go to swipe the credit card for all of us, are you going to expect us to pay you back, or are you just going to do this and be like, listen, I got this. I got this, fam.
I think I already did this for like the Nintendo Switch Online stuff that I told a bunch of friends like, hey, let's just get on one plan together. And then people faded in the first year, and then I got charged for the second year, and I was like, do I ask? Do I ask? So I think I might just front the bill for us.
Exactly. I mean, I got the little YouTube family thing, and I don't know if I like pay extra for it or whatever, but it's like I would. Listen, I'm just gonna pay for it. And if you want to, like, if you're on there, if you get kicked off though, and you like need me to add you again, it's gonna take a couple weeks. I'll get around to it. We'll see. But if you were actually paying me, maybe I would do it right away.
Everything's in house here, so we don't have to, have multiple logins or anything. Well, no, we do have multiple logins, but they're not multiple locations, I guess. So
right, so
he can still use the Game Pass games that I've downloaded or like added to my account or whatever. So that's fine. So
right, it's like if there were like three Xbox Series, like a Series S in like every room, maybe this would make a little bit more sense for you if people are playing like that. But even then, that seems a little.
0049.
You're live.
Wait, don't give out. Wait,
You're
hot mic.
They're
don't
in the
say your
system.
social security number.
Yeah.
or your credit card number.
LUCYWATCH 2022 is concluded.
LUCYWATCH 2022. Exciting.
She's right there.
LUCYWATCH 2022.
Jeff Bakalar's island of Dr. Pinball Machine. He's going to turn her into a pinball machine any second now. He's evil, everybody. Someone's got to stop him.
God.
Lucy, run.
What is she thinking?
All right. So while they're setting up, Jan, should I keep going with the news and then we'll get him in here?
Yeah, we'll get him in
We're
here.
almost through this.
We're almost done.
Oh, they're
All right. AMD teases RDNA 3 GPUs as it sets a release date for Ryzen 7000 CPUs. I'm not going to go through all this. This is not the right audience for this. I'll probably talk about this on the Game Mess mornings tomorrow. But they basically announced the next generation of Ryzen and the pricing. The short version of this is that this is exciting because they're going to a new chipset, which enables them to have stuff like the new DDR5 memory and a bunch of other features. But what this means is like, okay, the high price for the top end chip is actually pretty good relative to what Intel is doing. But then as you get down to like the entry level of the 7600X, that is still like $400, or no, I'm sorry, it's $300. And then if you combine that with getting something like a pretty expensive new motherboard, because they are going to be pretty expensive for now, and the expensive DDR5 memory, the low end is kind of, the price is rising over there. So things are kind of getting squeezed together, and the entry level stuff is kind of going to, it's going to be just a little bit more spendy coming out of the gate here. That said, the numbers that they've shown for performance, and these are only AMD's numbers, like we'll have to test this stuff and see people who are testing it. The performance gains are pretty impressive. They're talking about 13% IPC improvements, which is like instructions per clock. But then they're also increasing the like they're getting like 800 extra megahertz on top of here. So they're almost getting to 6 gigahertz total. That is wild, especially for AMD, who has stayed at like 5 gigahertz for a few generations now. So that's the short version. Basically, very exciting things happening with CPUs. This puts Intel into a corner where I expect them to respond, and like things should get even more competitive in the CPU side of things here going forward. And then they teased Radeon 7000 series. Sounds like that's going to be a big upgrade as well. We'll see more about that here pretty soon. Yeah, yes, ICP movements. That's right, Marino. That's what matters in the CPU, is you get as many insane clowns as possible. Finally, both sides are interested in reviving SNK versus Capcom, says producer. The producer behind SNK's biggest fighting franchise has claimed there's interest from all sides in reviving the cult classic. Speaking of VGC,
Cult classic. That's all you got.
This is their words, not mine.
Bullshit.
This is a VGC. The number one best fighting game of all time.
Thank you.
Revered on the Mount Rushmore of versus fighting games, or just fighting games, period. What do you think? That's up there? Okay.
CVS2 is like one of the best fighting games ever made.
Well,
Ever.
Because it's so well revered, they are they are interested in bringing it back. Whether or not they're actually actively looking, that's another matter. Speaking of VGC, Yayuki Oda, the producer and designer who has spearheaded SNK's fighting game revival in recent years, he directed King of Fighter 16 and produced Samurai Showdown, has now suggested that a new installment in the crossover series could finally be feasible. Oda referenced collaborative promotional posters which were released at this month's 2022 EVO fighting game tournament, featuring artwork from both SNK and Capcom games. Unsurprisingly, the nostalgic merch was well received by fans, and Oda told VGC it reconfirmed the public's huge interest in a potential SNK versus Capcom revival.
Huge interest.
Okay, I mean, you guess it's as evident by right here by our own Jason.
Huge interest.
The
The
demand
science
is out
has been done. The numbers have been calculated. Huge.
We are putting things into beakers. Things are exploding in our face, and the smoke smells. Huge demand. He said, "This is Oda. Definitely in the future, that's something that I think everybody on all sides in both parties are interested in making a reality." Okay. Actually, Jason, do you think that is really true, or is this something he's just saying? Do you think Capcom has real interest in making this happen again?
I think Capcom has interest in it. I think they're weighed down by the fact that licensing is such a fucking bitch that it's hard for them to move forward. I think what's actually more, what's likely to happen is an SNK versus Capcom, as opposed to like a Capcom versus SNK 2, which are the more revered of the series. The SNK versus Capcom, not so much, even though Guile had the best fucking hair in SNK versus Capcom.
And the difference there is that when SNK is first, it's developed by SNK. Yeah. Is that what that means?
Right. Exactly. But SNK is like ass deep in Garo right now, Mark of the Wolves. So they're already in development with that. So like I if it happens, it's not going to be for quite some time, I'm sure. But, I think that's the more likely of the two, which is fine.
Yeah. And that's great. And I mean, it's just once they put it out there like this, people will be like, oh, when we can, bother Capcom about this, and maybe that makes it more likely as well, because the squeaky wheel gets the grease and all that stuff. All right.
Yep.
Jan, that does it for the news. We're ready to wrap up the segment if you're ready, or if we can bring in these friends if they're ready.
Are they're looking at phones? It's okay. Wait.
Okay.
Oh,
the thumbs up.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
How goes it?
Hello.
Hey.
What
I can't hear
was
Lucy.
this setup like, Bakalar? What was it like getting? Well, we might not be able to hear you through that microphone.
Yeah, Lucy's mic is not picking up her voice, but we can hear her on Bakalar's a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to like push some buttons here. Maybe during the break we'll fix it for you guys.
Or you can put
Sounds good.
your mic between both of you, since it's clearly picking her up a little bit.
Just change the dial on the back.
Yeah, to the yes.
All right.
There
Maybe during the
we're gonna
break.
float by.
yeah.
We're glad you guys are okay though. We're glad you got her picked up all safe.
LUCYWATCH.
Yes. An amazingly efficient airport pickup.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Yeah, you're already there. This is great.
That's it.
It's like that one Seinfeld episode.
That's the one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go sort out all this technical stuff and whatnot, and be back with some video games, or we'll just get weirder with it and do emails instead of games, and then talk about games at the end. Who knows? Fade into black.
Get nasty.
We're so busy all the time that I often forget to check on how my brain is, the state of my mind. If you need to replace a light bulb, you fix the light bulb. Well, you should fix the light bulb. So when you feel like you need some support for a healthy brain, that is where Betterhelp online therapy comes in. It's 2022, folks. There's absolutely no problem asking for help of any kind, especially when you need someone to help contextualize or just straight up listen to what you got going on. End the stigma, folks, because honestly, you will be doing yourself a favor in getting these emotions and feelings out through therapy. And sometimes I understand you don't want to encumber your partner, your loved ones, your friend groups, your coworkers, or anyone with your emotional baggage. So that is where therapy can help. If you're a little shy and don't want to show your face, you don't have to. BetterHelp provides therapy over the phone and chat sessions. You can get linked up with a therapist in less than 48 hours. And hey, best of all, y'all, it is much more affordable than in-person therapy. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bombcast. That's betterhelp.com/bombcast. Looking to find relief and relaxation after a long, stressful day? Ever notice that using CBD alone just doesn't cut it either? Well, try Delta Munchies. Euphoria you can taste. Delta Munchies is the leader in the hemp cannabinoid industry and specializes in delicious award-winning gummies, vape pens, and tinctures. Similar yet different from CBD, their products go beyond providing just stress relief alone. Users have also reported having an elevated experience that is altogether calm, euphoric, and relaxing. Delta Munchies is also revolutionizing the way you find relief by shipping straight to your door for free. Skip the line at the dispensary and shop online at www.deltamunchies.com and use Bombcast20 for 20% off your order.
That's right. We found her, everyone. We got her. And Jeff Bakalar was the one that finally did it. Where in the world is Lucy James? It turns out in New Jersey.
It's where everybody winds up. What can I tell you?
The Garden
I'm
State.
on my Sopranos pilgrimage right now. We did the drive. Jeff picked me up. He played the Sopranos theme. It was great. It was everything I hoped and more.
It was awesome.
It was pretty great.
You had to be there, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
How many bagels have you had now or been foisted upon you, Lucy?
Literally none.
Wow.
You should check below your seat. There's a sesame and everything.
Biffed it. No. When we arrived though, you do have English muffins, which I do appreciate.
Yes. I wanted to prepare the house. So we've just got a bunch of tea in every room, crumpets, biscuits, Ted Lasso on loop, and English
Name
muffins.
something else British.
And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Like, I don't know, like something pudding. What's the ugly
Yorkshire?
pudding?
Whoa.
What's the ugly
Wow.
Yorkshire?
Wow.
pudding? No, like it's like the breakfast thing that
Blood pudding.
Yeah. That's real appetizing.
It is actually really good.
Yeah. It's very
It's
good.
great.
It's but it's great to have Lucy here. It's fantastic.
It's nice to be
very
back in the
exciting.
country. Sponsored by Icelandic glacial water.
So before we went on here, you said you had not talked to another person for 5 days. What?
Why?
So you were on like a pilgrimage by yourself in Iceland? Is that what it was? Or
I was on a quest to
Yeah,
reach
hell yeah.
adulthood. No, fucking something fucked up with my visa, which is the story of my life. Basically, when you are an immigrant or when you're a visitor to the United States, you come in the country, you get what is known as an I-94, which is your sort of electronic record of entering and exiting the country. Last year, when I came back from being in the UK for 6 months, they stamped it, but on my wrong visa, which expires September
Isn't that
15th.
awesome?
So not my fault. Not work's fault, not even really American immigration's fault,
Okay.
but a little bit.
Yeah, but it's their fault. It sounds like it's completely their fault.
So I was gonna go back to the UK for like 2 weeks, and then my flight got cancelled. And with everything at Heathrow, Virgin Atlantic, when I rang them to rebook, they just kind of went, "Oh, wouldn't do that."
wouldn't you rather not? Wouldn't you rather not do that?
no.
Actually.
It was like $2,000 to get
Ooh.
anywhere in the UK. Anywhere. Not even like just London, like to go to Manchester or Glasgow. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
That stinks.
So it was actually cheaper for me to go on holiday to Iceland. Iceland.
I think it's
Iceland.
Is that the one with the
Iceland.
blue water?
Yeah.
And did you see the Northern Lights?
No, I did look, but the forecast was really low. Yeah, I just looked up at the sky one day. No, the forecast for them was really bad, and I was like, I don't want to pay. And yeah, you have to go out of the city and go on like a tour, and I didn't want to do that.
That's fine. It's just lights, whatever.
I mean, at the airport they had a kind of LED light wall.
Was
And
Bjork
they-
there to greet you?
No, but there was actually not as much Bjork as I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, what's like their thing? Is it just her?
Penises.
So Bjork
Vikings.
and dongs and Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
There was an
You put that
Icelandic
together, you got yourself a country, an identity.
Christmas party.
Yeah.
No, there was the Icelandic punk museum, which
Oh.
I didn't go to.
Oh, that's
I wish
sick.
that I had, but
Is it all just like black, like Viking black metal?
I didn't go. But
Probably.
I assume so. I
Yeah.
assume so.
That sounds sick.
But no, I did go to the penis museum.
Fantastic.
When I was there, I did not go to the Penis Museum, and I really regret it. I really regret not going. So I'm glad
It
you
was
did go.
like, I hate to say it, but it was the first thing I did. I landed
Immediately
I
off
landed
the
on-
plane.
That's weird because
No.
at work all day you're surrounded by dicks. So why would you go do that as soon as you get there? I got
Makes
us.
sense, yeah.
I got
Yep.
us. Yay.
Wait. No, I landed and I did the trip in sort of I came to New Jersey, stayed overnight, and then I flew the next day, and I tried to get on the sleeping schedule, but I also have chronic fatigue, so I had a nap, and then I woke up and it was like 3 p.m. and I was like, oh, okay, I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to do. I don't know. Turns out Reykjavik is actually really small, and I did most of my I want to see list that afternoon. And then I rounded it off with a trip to the Phallological Museum. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, like phallus. Yeah, that
Phallus.
makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing with that place, by the way, because there's a bar and you can get a beer and walk around and look at all the pickled dicks. So that's what I
Fun.
did.
Dicks.
No, dude. Sperm whale? Taller than
Yeah.
me.
The dick.
It was intimidating.
Yeah, but like, oh, what a
It's gotta
hog.
be.
Like, yeah, just to
I got a
carry that
picture of it.
bad boy around like that. No,
you wanna see a
Right.
picture of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Show the class,
maybe-
Lucy. You have to show the
Yeah,
class.
Well,
see it.
Lucy's
You
gonna
gotta
show
share.
me the dick. I don't know if we could share the dick with the rest of the class, but she's
No.
gonna give me
I mean, it's
the
just-
dick.
You should like
You'll get
hold it
live
up and just kind
reacts.
of Yeah, well, you know what? It's do it like Spielberg. Show it to Bakalar, and then Bakalar, your facial reaction that you have
Yeah.
to sell it for everybody. All
Yes,
right, and this
yes.
could be.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Direct
could,
me
could be
here.
the cover art.
You got to get on the mic too, though.
Yeah,
I'm practicing
Make it
my
a-
dick reactions.
yeah, of course, absolutely. This is
Oh,
this is
gosh.
exactly what I
Oh,
want it to be.
the-
What a
other
dong.
The other thing that was quite funny about this place is that every dick they had pickled, they had a sort of rating for how long it was
How
and
sour it
and
is?
how and the testicle size. Anyway, here's
Oh man,
Oh, this is just the grossest thing I've ever seen. Sorry.
Is Jeff Bakalar body shaming right now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I am.
okay, Bakalar, you are dying of hypothermia. If someone brought you a warm sperm whale penis and said, "We'll cut it up and throw you inside to keep you warm," would you say yes?
Well, Jeff, I don't know if I'm fitting inside this sperm whale.
I
Oh,
think
but you
you
said it was tall.
Dude,
Is it?
It's
is it
taller
thin?
than me. No.
It looks like something from one of those like horror movies that's being grown in a like a big old test tube. It looks
Testicle
like
tube?
It looks like that. I mean, it's just so fucked up. Like, and you know what? I can sit here and be fine with being canceled by the sperm whale community. Like, I don't care. Your dicks are gross. Your dicks are gross.
I took a picture of this one. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, that's an unnamed. God, I can't. Oh, God, that's just a weird.
It's
looking
Daffy
purple
Duck's
dick.
corkscrew dick, is what it is. Yeah, there you go. Got them all in there.
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, pivot out of this, Magic Man. How do you do this?
I went when I was in Iceland. I saw a street called Baldur's Gata, and I'm like, oh, it's named after the video game. And then a bunch of people had to explain to me, no, this is just actually part of our religion. Oh, okay.
I took that picture and I was gonna tweet it. I was like, still waiting on that release date.
Aw.
I found it on my walk home, and the biggest thing I remember about that walk home, I was like, we went to a bar, and I was going back to my hotel, is I wanted to get a bottle of water, and the teenagers running the convenience store shamed me as an American for wasting plastic by buying a bottle of water. That's what I remember about Iceland.
Wow. When did you go?
Like 5. And you know what? Let's see. How old was my daughter? Yeah, it's 5-6 years ago, because it was like the last year where I went to a lot of traveling, and I hosted. I was emceeing an event, and then I've told this story differently, but like the lady that asked me to come there and MC, she like wanted me to become a bunch of part of stuff, but also she was like very European, Icelandic, whatever. They would always introduce by doing the cheek kiss, and I'm like, oh, well, this feels inappropriate. I feel like I'm not supposed to be kissing people that I don't know very well, and so I was kind of standoffish, and I don't think she liked me very much because I did that. So I think, I think I offended her by not doing the cheek kiss thing, or at least I didn't do it very well and enthusiastically. So
like, is it both sides?
Yeah, they were all doing both sides, and and I'm like trying to process this, and all of a sudden it's coming at me, and I think I must have like flinched or something, and it just didn't go well. So yeah,
and you accidentally
and that's Iceland
just
for me.
Lips. You accidentally just touched lips.
I think it was just like I was like almost like crumbling to the side, like okay, like trying to like evasive maneuvers, like I'm out of here, like
tying your.
I'm from Ohio. Yeah, like that.
He's like, yeah, we accidentally tongue kissed. It was really weird.
Okay, fantastic.
Preferred that.
I think I fixed the microphones now. I think I fixed them. So let's
Jan, you're such a good boy.
Shit.
talk about video games. Lucy James, sorry to put you on the spot yet again, but in your 5-day isolation, did you play any video games?
No. The only game.
Hell yeah.
The only games I played. There's a game that I have on my phone, and I've had it for years, called Pixelgrams, which is basically you make pictures out of small shapes. And it's very cute, and there's like a cat in it called Kitzel, I think. I don't know. I don't play it for the story. It's just like a nice little puzzle game. I didn't play any games while I was there because I was like, I talk about games all day, play games all day.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You gotta take a vacation from games every now and then. Touch corn.
Did you get Death Stranding vibes from Iceland?
Oh, dude, yeah. As soon as I was on the bus, I was like, yes, Kojima was here. I know they did the trip, and
it said it on the back. It said it on the back of the bus seat in front of you. Kojima was here. It was written in Sharpie.
Kojima
Hell yeah.
No, I actually Googled it while I was there, and I was like, oh yeah, he was here in like 2014, scouting for it. And yeah, I mean the landscape is just Death Stranding. I did actually, it was quite funny. I took a selfie because I went to this amazing waterfall, and there was a rainbow. And
I saw that.
I tweeted it with like low raw intensifies because obviously that's they do the music, and then Kojima
that went viral, right? That got out there. A lot of retweets out there.
Because Kojima Productions retweeted it, and I was like, I woke up the next day and I was like, this is either very good or very bad.
Yeah,
luckily it was good.
It's good.
But no.
Yeah, you weren't the bad main character. Right?
No,
Yeah.
that's the game of Twitter, is to avoid being the main character of the day.
Yes.
Look at him; he's internet literate now. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
See?
There we
I'm
go.
Good. Yeah.
Speaking
what
for
am I
myself, I do feel like being in isolation and not talking to anyone would be maddening, just like Madden NFL 23. Jeff Grubbs,
Nice.
you've been playing this.
Yeah, we did a quick look of this, and I had played it like a little bit before that. We're just kind of trying to show it off on the Steam Deck. And it turns out, like, oh no, really having it on Steam Deck is great, because after that, like, I picked up my Steam Deck. I think I was going to play something else and like lay down on our new couch we got over here with the projector and just put on a movie or whatever. And I laid there and I just started playing Madden again. I got into another match and just kept playing. It is really ideal for just absorbing like one round of that game on the go, or just very lazily laying on your side, with the, like, most of the lights turned off in a way. But it probably from the outside looks pretty depressing, but I promise I was having a good time. The football is solid in there, and I have not encountered any of the trademarked Alex Navarro bugs so far.
I love the people who are freaking out over unrealistic shit in the football video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of awesome to see people losing it over.
Yeah, that's got to just be like people playing it up, right? Yeah.
I I gotta tell you guys something. Football sucks. Okay? It's not gonna get any better in a video game version. It's boring.
Blitz is pretty good.
Me.
Blitz is sick. It's the only acceptable form of American football.
Someone messaged me, and his picture is that's John Madden.
Yes, R.I.P.
Okay, and this guy just messaged me, said, "Hey, hi, do you do anything on Madden? Need people like you to mainstream the obvious manipulation in games like Madden."
Oh fuck me.
So Jeff, I'm passing this drama along to you. I don't understand what he's talking about.
Grub,
Wait,
deal
what?
with that.
He said, I need people like you, and now you, Jeff, to mainstream the obvious manipulation in games like Madden.
Does this happen to you all the time?
Yeah, dude.
That sucks.
If we crafted a response, would you message him back, or do you not want that shit in your life?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
I'm legit asking you to like. I don't want to put that any of
I'll be the
middleman.
middleman. I'll be a middleman.
Be like,
boy.
okay, then say, definitely we're ready to wake up the sheeple. Can you give us some examples?
Wow.
We're ready.
Jeff, you're fucked up. Grub,
I'm
you're
ready
a
to do this,
fucked up
guys.
person.
I am ready. No, the manipulation must be exposed. We got to do something about this. What do you think they could possibly mean? Do you think you're talking about Bakalar, where people see like a tip and it goes, 500 feet in the air and then someone jumps up and grabs it or whatever, like it's an arcade game?
I think
there's
it sounds like they're upset that someone's kneeling in the video game is what it fucking sounds like.
Oh wait, he's typing right away.
Oh, he's ready.
Waiting for me. He's ready. John Madden from Beyond the Grave. I have a lot of actual game footage.
This is Ghost Madden.
Lucy, could
Hello.
you just turn your mic gain just down ever so slightly?
This is fucked up.
There you go. How's about that?
Beautiful.
I feel like this is another
thank you.
ritual all over again.
Oh no, he's asking me if I played Madden. John, I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't.
I think you already lied, Jordan.
I am
Just
for
the
my
one with Pele?
sins, British.
For your
Yeah, for my sins.
Yeah.
You should be like, I think we got our football wires crossed.
Fuck, okay. I think we got our football wires.
This is beautiful.
Football in quotes, for sure.
Wires.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do that like boomer cry laughing face?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, is that only for boomers? Okay, now I know that someone uses
No,
that
the thing
face
is
to
that
me.
I started using it ironically and now I can't stop.
God.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Wait, what were you gonna say, Bakalar?
No, I just I've seen what feels like a disproportionate amount of people losing their minds over like interceptions and tips gone awry on Twitter. And it's like, have you ever seen a real football game? It's a fucking circus. Okay. The ball's real weird. It's all the time. The ball's shaped super weird. That's what you get. Like it's designed like that. Like football's supposed to be chaotic and crazy.
When was FIFA Street? 2012?
I don't know.
That sounds right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is not John. It's Akbar, but this whole account is just a shame Madden. What about FIFA? Because they use the same tech there as well. And I said, I'm sorry, I saw John and assumed I played FIFA Street in 2012.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've made a lot of progress here. Madden's fine on the Steam Deck is basically the moral of the story here. And I think I will keep playing it, especially as football starts and I get more into football being back. It'd be like, this is a nice way to engage with my fandom on a super casual level. I will not be playing Madden Ultimate Team and spending money on card decks. I will not be starting a franchise mode. I'm not gonna mutt. I'm not, well, at least not in that way. And I'm not gonna raise the price of hot dogs in my franchise mode or anything like that and be a GM. I'm just gonna play a couple arcade games. Yeah, you can. You can do that like 20 years ago. I wonder if that mode's still exactly what I'm imagining in my head, but I bet they still have the hot dog price like slider in there somewhere. So always jack those babies up. Football fans can't help it. They got to get those dogs.
Yeah, Jeff Grubb,
sorry. This has gone places.
All right.
That's not enough, but let me first explain if you don't mind. Can I share some EA patents to give you an idea?
EA what?
The dark EA patterns. Watch out, everybody.
Oh, patterns.
They are harvesting organs.
No. She's saying patents. What is that? I don't know that word.
Patent. How the fuck do you Americans say
a
it?
patent.
Patent.
What was I saying that was so different?
You were just
I heard it eventually.
Yeah, like I would have gotten
Wow,
it.
look how
I would
offended
have
she
gotten
is.
it.
They have
She's so
extremely
mad at you,
sophisticated.
Bakalar.
Lucy's
I
gonna
know,
leave the room.
Dude, when I was at Playdays Summer Game Fest,
Yeah.
I asked the guy, "Can I have a bottle of water, please?"
Oh, that I understood.
He didn't.
Well,
Oh, I remember this. I was there when it
Yeah, and I
happened.
was just like, "What the fuck?"
Bottle of
Oh.
water.
it just seemed like the way you said it. It sounded like patents.
Yeah, patents,
What's
right?
the word you? Patent.
But yeah, it's patents. Yeah, the way it's no. You're not wrong. Nothing you did.
I'm
was
not.
wrong.
I can't ever be in these conversations because when people are like, "Oh, it sounded like this instead of that," and I always hear the same exact word every time. Everyone's like, "It's not Gollum, it's Gollum." I'm like, "You said the same thing. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about." So,
I'm the wrong one for sure.
yeah, that's
we've unleashed.
and
Okay, Akbar had a bunch of cut and pastes here.
Dude, no, he's talking about the churn rate now. He's talking about the research. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm impressed.
yeah,
We'll
he's got
revisit this
receipts.
later.
Okay,
He
well,
does.
thank you for our John Madden RIP update.
Tell him to get a
back to the
life,
dead, everybody.
Jesus
Well, it
Christ.
does sound like the person you're talking to it might be trying to hack EA systems, just like I'm trying to hack into Soul Hackers 2. Everybody,
This
good.
guy.
I try.
guy.
Thank you.
You're good.
This is an Atlas joint. It is a Persona-like. If you are at all familiar with the Shin Megami Tensei universe, you will see a bunch of familiar faces in terms of the demons. Quick Look is now up on the site. I was joined by the lovely Atlas expert, Michael Heim. And I'm kind of on the fence with this game. I played maybe 2-3 more hours after we wrapped the Quick Look. And I feel like 6 hours is generally a lot of time to invest in a game. Would you all not say?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yes, I would say.
Yes.
Yes,
In the
too
P
much.
Sound universe, absolutely.
Yes. With JRPGs, however, that is generally a fraction of the experience of the game. I mean, Jeff Grubb, you're in hour 5 or 6 now yourself of Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah, we are going into hour 6. Yeah.
Right. And you're still getting tutorials, correct?
Oh yes, very much so. I'm under the impression I will be getting tutorials for pretty much the rest of my life while playing that game. Yeah.
Yes. But the difference is, and we were very incessant about stressing this on that Quick Look, and I want to stress it here as well, that they're two very different games within the same genre. But if you had $60 and funds are
Right.
tight in where to invest your money, I would still side with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because it just has a stronger start overall. Soul Hackers 2, it's completely fine. It is a completely fine JRPG. The dungeon design is a little bit uninspired because they're just going with like a weird cube-esque, matrixy future dungeon design that is apparently in your soul that the main character is hacking into. In the combat, generally they'll try and add a new mechanic here, and what they do here is when you expose someone's weakness, because weaknesses are a big thing in Persona, much like a Pokemon game or the SMT verse. Sorry. Instead of staggering them or getting an extra turn, what you do is you start building up your stack. So the demons that you possess in your stack will do an all-out attack on all the enemies every single time after the your turn is done. So that is fun. It does get a little bit I don't want to say annoying, but it does get a little bit cumbersome afterwards because they choose to do the drawn out animation every single time. Now I do recognize that you could skip through it and everything, but a point that Michael brought up during that Quick Look that I hadn't noticed at all is that I hope something that Soul Hackers 2 introduces gets brought into future Persona games and other Atlas style games, where I really like Persona 5. And Lucy, I believe you dived into Persona 5 as well for a hot second.
And I reviewed it. I reviewed Vanilla on GameSpot, and then Michael reviewed Royal. So I gave it a 9, and then Michael gave Royal a 10. Well deserved.
Well deserved.
The changes they added definitely made it a 10.
But the thing that Soul Hackers 2 does differently is that they don't have a silent protagonist. Your main player person actually has a personality, is fully voiced, well, as voiced as mostly everyone else is. that I kind of hope in the future. I know a lot of people want to like name their main character like after themselves, or maybe perhaps Charlie Tanoku, if you're so inclined. But I really do like having them fully voiced and just being able to get into the character versus the whole silent protagonist. And I realize that is a thing that is up my alley that I would prefer, but I know a lot of other folks were like, no, I need to be fully immersed. I need to be the main character. The other weird thing about Soul Hackers 2 is that the default camera angle is way too close to the main character's bum. It is like right up all in there.
Look at that.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Oh, that's disgusting. Where do I see this?
Oh,
Which website? There are so many.
Oh, that's so gross. 10 minutes on sperm whale dicks. But then...
it's just, as I'm playing it, I don't need my partner to come in and then give me the side eyes of like, playing an anime game again, huh? Mm-hmm. Another one of these?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're making you play it? Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Likely story. I mean, is it on the level of like 2B upskirt shots, or like what, like it, or is it not quite that bad?
No, it's not quite that bad. The main character is just wearing some very short shorts, and you can adjust the camera angle at any time. I just don't think it's doing anything super amazing that I need to like run and tell someone about. But if you have, but it is really nice to see all of the Persona demons or the Shin Megami Tensei demons in like 1080 60, and it's super crisp, because I was used to seeing them in SMT5 just super muddy and murky looking on the Nintendo Switch. It runs really great.
See Mara?
What was that?
Did they have Mara?
They did not, or as far as where I'm at. But hey, it runs really well in the Steam Deck if you need a JRPG on the go, if you don't have a Nintendo Switch. It also just feels like people discovered raving too late in the game.
Nice.
Jeff Grubb, tell me about these tiny people.
Yeah, they're my Tinykin. This game just launched today. I am playing it on Steam Deck. It's out for PC. I think it's out for everything. It is, what if Pikmin was more of a platformer and less of a strategy game, and you used your Pikmin to solve platforming puzzles? And if that like immediately sounds like a pretty good concept to you, play the game right now. Stop everything and go, well, after the podcast, stop everything, go play it. I think you're going to love it, because it's I played through the first like level and got into like the second level and just kind of started like messing around, and then I did a quick look with Dan. It's going to go up later, and he was showing out the stuff, and it's like so creative. There are a couple of Pikmin like things called the Tinykin that you don't get by like taking back resources back to your base. You're just going to pick them up as pickups throughout the level, and then once you have enough, like you can do something like, oh, move this giant vase, and that gets out of the way, and then you can go through this door. That's like the very basic stuff. But you're also going to get to a point where you have to collect pollen to make these juices or whatever. Again, that sounds very much like Pikmin. It is a lot like Pikmin. Yeah. They're wearing their inspirations on their sleeve. But to get this pollen, you have to jump all around this entire world, and that means getting stuff like the bomb Pikmin to blow up stuff that's in your way, or these green Tinykin little creatures that you could stack on top of one another and use like a ladder, and you climb up, and this enables you to do even longer jumps or get up to higher places. And the levels are super creative looking, and like the one that Dan shows off in the quick look is this like terrarium room with a tree kind of growing through the middle of it. It's like this abandoned house that you're in. It's a big world, tiny people sort of genre sort of thing. And just jumping through this place and seeing all the secrets and hidden nooks and crannies is really enticing. There was this like this terrarium thing over to the side. And I'm like, oh man, there's kind of like fun ramps in there, and these characters you got to go talk to. And this one guy is blocking the key. Oh, I can't wait to figure out how to solve that. And we didn't even go in there the entire time. It was just this enticing thing off to the side while we were solving all these other platforming quests. And I'm just like overall like really impressed by the execution here. It also does that visual style that's becoming more popular with indie driven 3D platformers, where the world is a 3D polygonal space, but your characters are 2D sprites.
Oh.
And that's true for the Tinykin, and it's true for your very Dexter's Laboratory looking main protagonist. He's got these big, bug eyes, and he just looks like a cartoon character, but he's always sort of facing the camera and running, and it looks maybe a little, I guess maybe, I don't mean it this way, but it looks maybe a little cheap in like action. It actually is super charming and nice, and just kind of makes the game feel vibrant and alive.
It sounds like a Paper Mario thing.
Yes, it has a Paper Mario style to the tech for sure. Absolutely. Yes, it's going for that. And it really works. It's also like there's that Devil's Tower or something. I can't remember. Devil's Daughter or something like that. There was another platformer that's just like this. What's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I think people are really going to dig it. It is another one in this succession of indie games we've had that have sort of come out of nowhere and have been like winning us over all year. This is the latest one of those. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm going to be spending a lot more time with it. And I think most people, by like next week, I think we're going to hear a lot of people talk about, oh, this is going to be in my top 10 for game of the year and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen enough of it where I'm like going to give it to my kid and see what he thinks about it.
The barometer.
Let him play it. Let him have an opinion on it. Tell me what he thinks. I report back to you.
There we
sounds
go.
Great.
Get him to do the book report.
Yeah, this game is good, and Dan Reichert sucks. That's all we need to hear. Yep.
I mean, that's it. Oh God, he talks so much shit on that guy. It's so awesome.
How is it on Steam Deck? Tomorrow wants to know. It's fantastic. Me and Dan have both been playing it primarily on there. It is great. It runs perfectly, flawlessly. It's really good on there. There's no issues at all.
Lovely. Let's see. Real quick, I want to touch on a game I talked about in what feels like years ago. Mixolumia is a tile. Well, it has tiles, so I guess it counts for Tile of the Year this year. It is a quick little puzzle game. It's kind of Luminous adjacent, but instead of dropping into like a rectangle field, it's more like a rupee looking field, I guess, from Legend of Zelda. The reason why I want to bring it up is that it's now finally headed to the Switch. It was only available on itch.io for the longest time. This was the game where you could, at least on PC, you could go into the files of the game and edit all of the sound effects to be your own custom ones. So if you wanted just like a bunch of fart sounds or boings anytime you drop your tile stack, you could have it be that way. I think someone did, what's the OWAHAHAH song?
Down with the Sickness?
Isn't that like like fucking Disturbed?
It is down with the
Disturbed or some shit.
It's Down with the Sickness, right?
Yeah.
Down with the Sickness.
Have you ever seen the compilation of white men doing that? Like just the white guys at karaoke?
I can recreate it for you right now. There you go. It's just that
It's
over
just
and
a lot
over
of
again.
that.
Bakalar, come on. You
No,
have to.
dude,
it.
Come on.
just the thought of watching a supercut
Yeah.
of those freaks doing it back to
I
back.
like to suck.
Bakalar,
Gives me-
10.
You're the only other.
never
white
tried
guy
it.
here. You have
Well,
to do
then.
it right
I've
now.
never tried
That
it.
doesn't matter. And then
on.
we're gonna supercut
know.
just us going back and forth for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just
What?
gotta,
Did you just
Don't be
burp in the
shy.
mic?
Don't be shy.
let a person warm up their instrument. Oh. Okay. Can I have the line again?
OWAHAHAH.
Line, yep.
There we go. That was good.
Beautiful.
See?
Why were
When
you
you give
nervous?
a person, I wasn't nervous. I just needed space. I needed space around the moment, and I delivered. So there you go. Thank you.
Fantastic. That brings us actually to our game of the week. Jeff Bakalar. Jeff Bakalar presents Game of the Week. Boardwalk Games.
Oh, brother. Okay, so I was down at the Jersey Shore for a week, and I went to a part of the Jersey Shore I had not been in like 20 years, and it's basically the part of the Jersey Shore where they're like, "Hey, this is gambling, but not for money." And it's right up your alley, Jan. It's basically like
You're speaking my language,
tickets,
baby.
yeah, it's like get as many tickets as you can, indoctrinate your children into gambling culture. Like, oh, you know, it's whatever. So we just did all of these insane carnival games that I hadn't done in so long. Like, you know, knocking the cans down with a beanbag, Dylan won, firing the water gun into the clown's mouth. He won a Spider-Man he's very excited about. But like, I had to take these kids aside at one point because they were all just like, why are we winning everything? And I was just like, no, my sweet little idiots. It's that these are scams. Like, it's all scams. Like, the basketball can only fit through the hoop with a millimeter on each side. Like, you ain't going to win. Like, don't even try, So it was a lot of that. And then, man, like, they had this one thing where it's like the big wheel spins and you place your bet on one of 24 squares. And if you win, is $1 a play, by the way. And if you win like a gigantic bag of candy.
Okay.
So like, these kids, everyone's like, oh, I want another $5. It's just like, it's just so insane how gamble focused it all is. It just feels bad, And then like my wife's starting to get the itch and she's like, I really want that stuffed, pigeon they have there. And I'm like, it was like they have this like mascot of the Boardwalk and it has a curly fry in its beak. It's kind of cute, but like you gotta,
I need to find it. I need to find it.
We have to bet $5 and then they throw this ball in this sort of like mini boxing ring and there's all these holes and the ball lands in a colored hole and you've bet on the color on the outside. And again, it's like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 12, whatever it is. It just feels like it just felt bad. And then you're like, oh, wow, $60 later, I've got like a Spider-Man this big and cool. I had fun. But
you're taking the memories.
I know. Yeah. The memories. Jen, you would have been really proud though. Crane game.
Yeah.
You're at a crane game. I got to send you this picture. So this crane game was just for the points that you can cash in. Okay. So like you spent money to get the crane game going down into the points. So like there are like these big cardboard loops, and each loop had like an assigned point value to it. And you did the crane game, and we put money in, and the crane game just like went by itself. We didn't even push the joystick. It went by itself, and it picked up 1,200 points. It was crazy. Oh man, did we cash it in for whoopee cushions? We got a couple of like really bad bouncy balls.
Ooh, the best kind.
A couple of bracelets. A couple of bracelets.
Little slap-on bits.
We did slap-ons and like slinky bracelets. We did a lot of Tootsie Pops, double bubble. It was just like a real normal Jersey Shore vacation.
I feel like to complete that, they should give you a way to like invest your points into like a stock market or something, so you can just complete the gambling circle. Yeah,
they do have that. You can reinvest your points, and the interest rate is dog shit though. You're better off.
Of course. Yeah,
you're better off hoarding all the bouncy balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's a weird vibe down there. Like I said, I went to the part of the shore that I had. Yeah, it's different. They're. Like all the Boardwalk freaky deaky stuff. Like it's all like Stranger Things. It's all Huggy Wuggy.
What is Huggy Wuggy?
Oh my God! You guys don't know what Huggy Wuggy is?
Wilson movie.
No, so I think Huggy. Oh, shit, is Huggy Wuggy? I thought Huggy Wuggy was Five Nights at Freddy's. Is it not?
Just keep saying Huggy Wuggy. Eventually, we're gonna figure something out.
Yeah.
Huggy Wuggy sounds like a pedophile.
Well, once you take a look at him, you're gonna say, "Oh, geez, he's like this." He's like if Grover was like touched by some sort of like, ooze, some sort of like awful ooze, and mutated into this horrific freak. I don't know if you want to pull one up on the screen there, but Huggy Wuggy is a tortured creature.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, this thing. I've seen this thing.
So what is it from?
I don't know what this.
My
thing
kid
is
knows
from.
all about it. He knows all about it.
Wait, I'm on the villains wiki.
So I'll tell you one thing for sure. It's 100% from YouTube videos that my children stumble upon. Yeah, there it is. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's Five Nights. Is it Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, it's like Five Nights adjacent because I feel like it's inspired by that stuff.
So is it like the Five Nights extended universe, if you will?
Playtime?
Poppy's Playtime. So Huggy Wuggy apparently is dating Kissy Missy.
I hate this so much.
And Kissy
Oh,
Missy.
my God.
So like, you know, all
Wait,
these
is this Poppy as
Boardwalk-
in like I'm Poppy? Is it that girl?
No, I don't think it's that Poppy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, man. The internet maybe left me behind.
It's bad.
She is Secretary of State now.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, good.
So,
well
you
done.
know, I'm always fascinated with like all the iron-on shirt kiosks that you go see at the board. Like, I don't know if this is exclusive to Jersey Shore, but that is like a staple of like the boardwalk economy is like, just think of the most horrific imagery or phrase or whatever it was, and let's put it on a shirt and sell it on the boardwalk, and you pick out the iron-on and you put it on a t-shirt. Like when I was a kid, it was the smiley face, the yellow smiley face, but with a bullet hole in its forehead. And it was just like
Okay.
dripping blood.
Okay, all
Like,
right.
that's like
Edgy.
I know. Look, let me tell you, ain't much better in 2022 because it's all like, you know what it is. So
I'm downloading Poppy Playtime right now.
Oh
So-
boy,
Very
you
good.
don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, Chef Grub.
And Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, adding that
good.
to the account. There
this
we
is-
go.
Playtime
Oh,
chapter
we,
one.
oh, there we go. We lost you a little bit. What was
This was
that?
not my.
Are you gonna get it if you didn't play Poppy Playtime Chapter 1?
Yeah, you may not understand
no,
it, Jeff.
That's a good idea. I'm just going to jump
There's
straight
too
to
much
Chapter
lore.
2. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Wow, brave, so brave. Anyway,
I
that's-
got
yeah.
2 questions about the boardwalk. One,
sure.
I know that like a lot of carnival games are trying, like if you go to like a Dave and Buster's, right? A lot of them are all LCD screens now. They're all like even more
Yeah.
so slot machine adjacent.
Yeah.
Did any of the boardwalk or is that all still analog style games, I guess, where you're still throwing rings at things or whatever?
So yeah, like all of the actual, carnival games are analog. It's all of the arcades are that now. Like all of the that's the thing. Like where we usually go, it's just straight up video games. And we did on the way back to up north, we stopped off at a place that I do want to bring up, which had some new video games that I thought was pretty cool. But down there, it's all every arcade that's there is just there for gambling. Like all the like it's like Deal or No Deal, and you like select
Right.
you play Deal or No Deal for tickets. Like that's what you're winning. It's like a wheel of
I can't
it's
trust
like,
those ones. I mean, I know the analog ones are just as rigged, but for some reason when it's digital, I'm like, the
Right.
code could just be like one
Yeah,
out of every
yeah.
25% people are going to win. It's just set that way, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And it bothers me a little bit more.
like very few games of skill for the points. It's more just like, hey, you're essentially just we've disguised, rolling the dice in some sort of other sort of game.
Right.
I did visit. This is a bit of an aside here, but I did visit. I was in Wildwood, and I visited. You can look this up. It's called the Retro Arcade, and there was this thing. It was like the dustiest, sketchiest, like little hellhole I've ever seen in my entire life. And this guy had video games, all like analog games from the 60s and 70s. He had some like Sega farming hunter thing. It was from like 68 or 69. It was everything was so weird. And then in the back, it was this thing called Fascination. Do you know what Fascination is?
No.
So Fascination is this like skee ball adjacent game. It's like skee ball and bingo, where you're playing against people, and they're like it's like mini lanes, and everyone is rolling these rubber balls down an alley, and you're trying to like play Connect Four basically.
Hell yeah,
And-
that sounds awesome.
But it was like grimy as fuck, like really poorly
Yeah.
lit, and the guy running it had like a train conductor's hat.
Of course
And he
he
was
did.
like, he had a wireless mic, and he was like doing the play by. I felt like I was in some sort of like David Lynch, like nightmare. It was
Right.
awesome. Like this
You
is
need-
all to say it was awesome.
You need to
I
find this
couldn't-
guy, and then we need to do something with him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So here's where I'll tell you he's probably mad at me now. Because so I go in there and I'm just like completely blown away by how amazing this place is. I'm like, you can't build this. Like the art direction here it's just chaos. It's just like it's like the inside of the mind of a madman. Like it was just No, but like that's what it is. Like he had all this like deteriorated like Halloween decorations everywhere. Like, you look one place, it's like a devil statue, and then there's just like bones next to it, and then like a garden gnome, and just dusty and terrible. And anyway, I started taking pictures because I was just like, this is amazing. I can't wait to take all these pictures and show everyone this place. 2 seconds later, I feel a tap on my shoulder, and it's the guy.
Oh, great.
Okay. And he's also got the microphone on, and he's talking to me, and it's going over the PA system. And he goes, you better, he's like, delete those pictures right now.
Oh, that's the best kind.
Like,
that makes this place even better, honestly.
And I'm like, no, why? And he's like, there's signs when you walk in that say delete the photos, don't take photos. And I'm like, first of all, okay, that doesn't change anything. He's like, well, you might have a lawsuit on your hands. And I was like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
I was like, in what court are you going to sue me for taking photos? And if he's like, I have signs posted, you can't take photos, delete them in front of me right now. So this dumbass, I'm like, okay, I'll delete them right in front of you. So I just like highlighted the photos I took and just like hit the send the trash button, right? And I'm like, look, they're gone. Okay, I leave, and then I just like get outside and hit undo.
Yeah.
And now I just and this guy was like totally satisfied with the theatrics, but I was so mad because he was so protective. And I said to him, I'm like, this place is crazy. Like, this needs to be documented. It's amazing in here. But he was more upset about me taking photos. He had like all these weird like VCRs stacked on top of each other, like connected to nothing. It was truly deranged, like in the best possible way.
This sounds like if someone accidentally made Meow Wolf, which I don't know. Are you guys familiar with Meow Wolf?
Oh yeah.
I haven't been, but yeah, I know of.
So these are like these like art installations that like the one I went to in Santa Fe has like all these like crazy, like you go through the washing machine, you can climb in it and you slide down into another room, whatever. But but it's like all that kind of stuff. It sounds like this place was like just naturally became one of those things on accident, and that has a certain vibe to it that I'm so into. I think there's one in Vegas, right? There's a Meow Wolf.
There's
in
a
Vegas?
Meow Wolf in Vegas. I'm gonna go.
Vegas.
Oh, you should go.
Like,
I'm going in. When am I going? 15th, 14th
That's awesome.
of September.
Definitely go.
I'm gonna try and go.
But like, I just could not believe this place. I didn't want to touch anything because everything seemed like horrifically dirty and terrible, but it was this amazing place. So I'll share some of the photos for sure, and go to jail.
I was gonna say he's gonna sue the shit out of you.
I was like, dude, what? Like, why? He's like, this is a private space. I'm like, no, it's not. I walked right in. What are you talking about? It's called, I think it's just called like Retro Arcade and Fascination in Wildwood, New Jersey. Oh my God, what an amazing place. Like, brilliant.
So all of this talk is making me want to play some of those like analog gambling like arcade games. I want to play the coin game.
I've been itching this whole time, Grub.
Yeah.
So like,
dude, the most psychotic one is like get the quarter to stay on like a slick like dinner plate.
So
like,
here for it. I can do it. I could do it. I'm gifted. I could do it.
They just spray the whole goddamn thing with like Pam, and it's just like even without it, it's impossible. It's just like it's just so sick. I as much as I hate it, there's this like weird deviant desire to be.
I spent
among
so much
it.
money on the actual coin game, trying to push the coins out and stuff.
Oh my God!
It's so enticing. They're all just hanging right there.
Just hanging.
I'm like,
I know.
I'm gonna play the coin
They've evolved
game,
that.
video game again, and we'll play.
There's the and it was made by I want to say it was made by Bandai Namco or Namco Bandai, whichever one it is, right? They make the game. They make the coin push game.
I mean,
Jesus,
Nami and the Pachinkos.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I went to. So I have a group who I go to Vegas with pretty much every year after E3. We obviously haven't been in a while, but we're going in a few weeks. 2 of 2 seeing Nine Inch Nails, which is the main reason we're going. But last time we were there, my friends were like, "Okay, we found this machine." Last time we were there, and I think I'd already left, and we have to play it again. It was like the best machine that they have ever played. And I was like, okay, it can't be that good. We spent maybe 6 or 7 hours going to different casinos because there is a listing of like where all of the machines are at each casino. And it's called Sinbad. I played it and I was like, I don't get it, but they like one game could last over an hour.
Really? That's
Yeah. And it was like a skill based games.
Yeah, like all
The
gambling.
whole shit. Oh yeah, like all gambling, but like it would just throw lifelines at you all the time. So like you would just keep playing him, keep playing.
That's
keep
cool.
Playing. And then we found it eventually in.
So those you could win
Nugget?
money from those? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, you could win money from these. Right.
But I mean,
I saw this
the
in
thing that-
Findlay, Ohio. Actually, they had a game of skill arcade, and apparently they had a bunch of these machines. I was going to go in there, but that was like a big thing a couple years back, where they're like, "Hey, gambling laws are still weird, but we want to find other ways of doing this." And this new generation thinks gambling is horseshit, but they like video games. So what if we made video games as games of skill legally that we could do? And I'm like, okay, maybe. I still have never actually played one, so. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, Sinbad was one of those, but I don't really partake in the gambling. But what I do do though, is
What do you do?
I gamble, $5, and I sit there, and then they have to bring you drinks, don't they?
Oh, sure.
So I just like tip whoever brings me something, and I get just tanked
That's the
while my
move.
friends are spending all their money.
Absolutely.
Way to do it.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a thinker.
I mean, wasn't pinball was illegal for a while?
What?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because-
Yeah, it's
Degenerate.
still illegal
Yeah.
in like certain cities for sure, where like the old law is just still on the books. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, Lucy, you might get arrested. Watch out.
Yeah. Don't turn
Oh,
around.
I just
this-
fucking got back in
You're
the
with this
country.
dirty
accessory.
bootlegger. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I just wish we had. Someone in chat posted a video of this guy's arcade. So I guess like he was cool. With
I
those times.
was looking at the TripAdvisor.
But my God, yeah. Look, crimes are fun. Okay, that's the
Yeah,
moral.
Absolutely.
Crimes
Yeah.
are fun. Crime away.
Fantastic.
As an immigrant into this fine United States, don't commit crime.
Real quick before we get out of here and take one more break, Lucy, have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese? Okay,
Charles Esports Cheese?
Charles
No.
Esports Cheese. To the best of
Charles,
your knowledge, do you think Timur has?
No, he hasn't.
Fantastic.
Well, so did you guys have Charlie Chalks?
No, not here.
What?
Charlie
Okay.
Chalks feels like a fever dream that I had one time, but
Sounds
I
like
do
a
know that it
bad
exists.
candy bar.
No, Charlie Chalks was, I assume, our version of Chuck E. Cheese, but like they didn't have. I was gonna say fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. They didn't have the
Animatronics band. Yeah.
but they had like the characters and the big play. So we had something similar.
Okay.
But never seen.
You
never seen
need the
Charles.
animatronics though. We went to when I was young. It was Major Magic's, and it was Major Magic was one of the animatronic guys. Maybe guess we'll have to. Yes, exactly. Salute.
Major.
I somehow made it through my childhood, never going to a Chuck E. Cheese either.
All right. Well, I think we have to remedy this situation.
We will figure something out.
Wait. Yes. We'll figure something out as I panically search for something on Yelp, hoping it's still open. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back with some electronic mails. I know game talk is just a little light, but so are the releases. It's a little light. Can't help it. Can't talk about games if there aren't any out. Yes. Certain things also embargoed.
Play Tinykin. It's a good new game. It's out today.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
play
out.
that.
I'm gonna
Go
play
it.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Absolutely.
We'll see you soon. And hey, welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since folks have seen each other in person, right? Like, I feel like I've been able to
3
see.
years?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. More. I think more.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen.
CS 2019.
Yeah, I've had the benefit of being able to see Lucy and Tam frequently whenever I pop into the office. Summer Games Fest, that was nice. But Bakalar, you were describing something.
Yeah. Well, Lucy made a comment. She was like, "Oh, we're not very tan people." And
Yeah,
I
she's
said,
looking
"Yeah,
at the
no,
camera like, "Oh my God, we look so white and
so white,
pale." Yeah.
And when I went to pick Lucy up from the airport, it was just like it's just so obvious when you're looking. Like I was just like, oh yeah, they're with that beacon.
It was like
of
a
light.
spotlight is shining on her, but it was the same amount of light as everyone else.
I was like, oh gosh, it's so and it's easy. I was like, my people.
Yeah.
And
I think I have said this before, but I have genuinely been used as a white balance.
that's fucked
Oh my
up.
god,
that's
that
actually
is
fucked
the
up.
most incredible thing you've ever said. That is
That
so
is
amazing.
fucked up. That can't be
is
true.
so amazing.
No way. They use a actual white piece of printer paper
as a joke.
As a
but
joke,
like,
sure.
Yeah, no.
Yes, agreed. If either of us were used as white balance, shit would look normal. Like you wouldn't.
Look
the
at
camera
this.
wouldn't fuck up. Like everything else would look all right and believable. The
Yeah,
color
that is
tones would
white.
be normal.
Now that you're pointing at it, I would say that is definitely white.
And the wildest thing, I just came back from 7 days in the sun. And this is what I look like. By the fifth day, I felt like hotness on the top of my hands and the top of my feet. And I know that sounds gross, but like my body literally has to do something crazy so that it can tell me like you need to stop this. You need to get out of the sun. We are not doing this. You need to leave the sun. And that's what happens. Like something radical has to happen for me to get the message from my body. You've had that.
Yeah, I get burned though. I burn very, very easily.
It's just it's it. And people are like, "What's wrong? You're just kidding.
No.
You don't like because you like the sun, right?" I'm like, "Actually, no, I don't. It hurts.
no.
Okay?
Okay.
It hurts."
I'm trying to match you. I'm trying to change my lights so I can be as white as you guys. I'm getting there.
No, forget it.
It's a little bit more of an involved process for me to do the same.
Camera technology has only come so far. Like what Lucy and I go through on a daily basis, being on camera, people will never know what we look like truly until they see us in person because the technology just isn't there yet.
You have to put a sheet of paper behind us because otherwise we're just like
That's it. It's
slightly
just not
translucent.
there yet. You know?
I mean, the three of you won't have this problem, but when I go, unless you do, and fair play if you do, when I go to get makeup, there's a thing with getting
swatches.
that really matters, and that is your tones, like the tone of your skin color. So you can be natural, neutral. You can be warm toned, which means like you're a bit redder, or you can be cool toned. And I went and I was getting my color matched, and the nice woman at Sephora said, "Do you know if you're cool toned? Do you know if you're warm toned?" And I presented my arm, and my vein is so prominent. It's bright, and the way you can check is what color your veins look. And I was like, it's just a blue line. Yeah. It looks like I'm on the tube.
Yep.
It looks like that's the fucking Victoria line.
It's a perfect map of the London Underground.
Yeah, and that's why I never get lost.
Fantastic. Well, let's go read some emails from our lovely audience. Emails. You can send your emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com, and we may or may not read them. I may have to wade through a lot of spam for some reason. It gets hit up a lot by that. Not the kind that's delicious. Anyway, first email comes from, I have no idea because I didn't copy over their name. I apologize.
Make up a name.
Stevie from Rio de Janeiro asks, there's a massive controller shortage going on in the community that still plays games like Guitar Hero. I guess Clone Hero? I frequently hear woes in game shops that they can't be found. I myself have been looking for years. With all of the old third-party controllers we used to see on the shelves, is there a copyright on the style of controller or something that would prevent new players in the plastic instrument market? I know demand is much lower, but it is enough to make these controllers not profitable for small custom shops like we've seen with replica lightsabers. Thanks, Stevie from Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's got to be. It's just if there's a lucrative enough of demand, right?
Yeah.
Like someone would have done it. Like that.
And the secondhand stores are full of them, so it's like if the demand does rise up, they're usually satisfied by people just going out and buying the secondhand one. And then on top of that, these things take up a lot of space, right? So what store is going to want to keep those on hand? Like you would almost have to be ordering from what he's talking about, a boutique creator who's making them, and then that's probably also that sounds like an involved process. And I wonder if the like the profit margin on that versus like a lightsaber or whatever, you could charge a lot of money for one of those lightsabers, and they do. So yeah, I don't know, it's probably just not worth it, and that's why it hasn't happened. I think you're right, Bakalar.
I think part of the reason why they're also not popping up in like a used game store, like a mom and pop or even a GameStop, is because a lot of folks have just have those instruments just packed away in a closet or a basement somewhere, just collecting dust.
Yeah. Well, those stores stopped wanting them too, right? They stopped taking them at a certain point. So yeah.
But if you look at Goodwills, Salvation Armies, odds are you will generally find a set there. One time, for the longest time, for a solid month, I just saw like 10 Wii U balance boards, and I wanted to buy all of them.
I got 2 in my back room right over there. So yeah.
There we go. I don't want to blow
up
my.
Use them for?
Oh, I didn't buy them. They were just there. Oh, you don't?
Oh, yeah. They could measure weight, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Wii
Ed
balance
Begley
boards?
Jr. was
Yes, it can.
Ed Begley Jr. was still using them and playing Wii Fit.
What?
TikTok reference? Is that what you're? Is that like,
He
like
was?
the tone of a tick? Yeah, but Ed Begley Jr. was like using it for like years. Yeah, we were.
I love
you were
that
like, yes,
guy.
he was, or yes, it can.
Maybe, dude. That shit's rotted my brain so much. I probably
just
do
sounded
that
exactly like. I'm like, yeah.
I can't stop thinking about the Korn song because of TikTok. I hate it.
I've now since not knowing what the Korn thing was, one of these pieces of programming, I've now learned, and I'm very into it as well. It's good stuff.
It's got the juice.
Yep.
Also, because I went over to a friend's place and I didn't know that they played video games ever, and I look in their closet, a full-on huge box of Beatles Rock Band just perched up in the corner, and I looked at her and it's like, can I have this? Can I take this from you? And she got very defensive. Was like, no, this is my Rock Band set. I might
My
play one day.
sister-in-law offered me a full boxed Beatles Rock Band for PS3, and I was like very seriously considering taking it. But I'm like, man, that's just gonna sit in my house most of the time. Do I want that? So
But
one
one
time
time you might want to play Rock Band.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's right.
I think I'm going to the next big purchase for myself. This is just the Rock Band conversation activated it in my brain. I want to get a digital drum set. Doesn't really have anything to do with the video game.
Midlife crisis.
Nope, it's not a midlife crisis. I can keep a beat.
Have you looked
playing
behind
drums.
you, Lucy, regarding the midlife crisis?
I mean,
Don't look behind you.
come
You'll go to
on.
jail, Lucy.
Those were here. Those were here when we bought the house.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
I want a digital drum set. That is all. I will.
he's tapping his foot while he says this, by the way.
That's
I
called
feel
the
like
kick.
he's
That's called the
trying
kick.
to.
That's my kick drum.
That's adorable.
What sound effects what sound effects packs would you use for your drum kit? Would you like all dogs barking?
No, I'm not Dan Reichert. I would just do. I just want to be able to do that. I want to play drums whenever I want, and I know it can't be I can't get away with a full drum kit because that's too loud. So I
What
just want to do
songs
that.
would you play?
I want to learn how to do double bass pedal metal songs. That's what I want to do.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Oh, some Slipknot.
No,
When
I mean Slipknot. I'm not a big Slipknot
Joey was very
fan,
skilled.
but now what's his face?
Joey
Mac,
Jordanson.
Well, Mac, yes, R.I.P. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Max Weinberg's son is now the drummer for Slipknot.
Oh,
Did you know that?
I didn't know
cool.
that.
Yeah, Jay Weinberg.
Things you learn.
I don't
Things
know
you
how we
learn.
got here.
Yeah, things you learn.
Well, now we're in Winnipeg because Adam from Winnipeg writes in and goes, "Hello, bombers. How do you make your online friends? Growing up, I was not given any incentives to make friends online, whether it was toxic gamers or other IRL issues that I won't get into. I've shied away from 99% of online interactions. This is probably one of my greatest gaming regrets, especially now that I play Destiny with my nephew. In fact, I am starting to feel like a burden when we play together, as I am uneasy with playing with a third party. So how do you make your online friends? Thank you for all your hard work and sacrifices. Adam from Winnipeg.
I feel like 13-year-old Jeff could answer this a lot better than 40-year-old Jeff can.
Right.
Right?
Easy.
I mean-
Join the Giant Bomb community because
There you
There
go.
you go.
Brilliant.
Easy.
the folks in the GB community are always very
Very nice.
they're always very welcoming, always ready.
Yeah,
they're,
receptive.
they're down to clown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like making any kind of friend, right? You just gotta like, even if you're faking it, pretend interest in them, and by the end, you'll realize, oh, I wasn't faking it. I actually do care about this person now because they explained things to me and took time to share their interest, and that kind of it invariably makes you want to like be a friend and connect with other people. So if that's something that doesn't come naturally to you, that's fine. Maybe don't feel so bad. Just I think if you're not getting in the way of the other people in this group where you feel like a third party, I bet they don't mind all that much. It's okay to have quiet people in a thing. Be okay being the quiet person. That's fine.
Yeah. Even in relationships, I am kind of the quiet person, and I just like nod my head and listen. And I was like, "Wow, you have a lot of things to say, huh? Cool.
Yeah, can't
I'm
hurt.
listening to everything."
Can't hurt. You're such a good listener.
Damn right.
I mean, like the thing is, like I watch the Giant Bomb chat go by as when we do streams, and I'll recognize usernames.
Yep.
I'll pop into the Discord, same thing. It'll recognize usernames, and in my head, I think we're all friends. So even if you're just you just start chiming in on specific stuff. There's a bunch of channels in the Giant Bomb Discord for whatever perversion you're into, whether it be anime, wrestling, or off-topic things. Not that
Pokemon
type of
card?
not too much of the perversion. Not pin. I don't know. Maybe there is pinball. But yeah.
I got with a lot of my Overwatch friends because there was like a group of us playing at work, and then we kind of like tweeted out. We were obnoxious and we would always tweet out our plays of the game, and some say I still do that, but it just was like you'd get people kind of going, oh, I play, and then you'll kind of get them to play every so often, just like get a game going. And so I feel like if you kind of did that in, say, the Giant Bomb Discord or anything, I think you'd easily find folks to play with. And then I have 3 different groups kind of on rotation.
Okay.
So just you're not gonna find anyone unless you put yourself out there a little bit.
True that, homie.
Yeah.
True that. Fantastic advice. Well, let's stay in Canada because Corey from Edmonton, Alberta writes in and asks, "Hey folks, I was listening to the latest UPF archive and the topic of what would a Luigi game be came up.
Waluigi.
Waluigi. Wow. I have a thought. Lucy, remind me I have to ask you something immediately after this.
Okay.
So, picture an expanded open world New Donk City. Waluigi is contracted by the various bad guys of the Mario universe to just go in and wreck up the place with his shenanigans. Sort of like a reverse Mario Sunshine. Like, say, there's a big statue of Mario in town square, and after you steal some tools, you go and deface it so Mario isn't wearing pants and looks embarrassed or something. More Bugs Bunny than Trevor Phillips, if you catch my meaning. Thanks, Corey from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, I think some people just want to watch the world burn. So yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
I'm just glad no one spoke over you there, Jeff. Then you got that out real clean.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Nice.
I'll stop now. I'm going on mute, everybody. Bye.
All right, thanks, Grub.
Like, imagine the wheels turning. and
I bet if
Grub's
we
like,
bet if we watch that back, we can have them. You see the moment where
Yeah.
it just clicks.
I really wish, just right where he just
He
like,
just goes,
I got something.
something's cooking.
I got something in the
Gears
chamber.
definitely turn visibly with this old brain. So yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
What do you think it was? Like a little nose twitch or a little mustache twitch or something?
Oh, I
It's
think
got to
it's
be.
a
It's the
mustache.
eyes. The eyes lighting up
Yeah.
and the mouth beginning
Yeah.
to move. Like I'm already practicing it. Yep, 100%.
When you do that thing where you like
You
you prep.
you have your tells, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No poker face over here.
We should
Jan,
play
what did
poker
you want to ask
sometime.
me?
So
Oh my god.
much,
Oh, yeah.
very, very early into the show, we were talking about who we'd like to host SNL, and then Jeff Grubb mentioned, "Oh, Kermit the Frog." And then everyone did a quick Kermit imitation, but none of them could measure to the professional Kermit imitation that I know Lucy James to do. And if you feel comfortable, would you mind just saying Kermit the Frog here?
Kermit the Frog here, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's great.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's so much fun.
You know, that old Family Guy joke where like Ray Romano, Kermit the Frog, and like Harold Ramis.
You know, if I closed my eyes, that could have been Ray Romano.
Yeah, and there's the new shithead. What's the new guy that? Nah, he's not new, but he's the right wing shithead. Has the Kermit voice now.
Oh, that Crowder guy.
The Toronto.
No. Oh, yeah, I know exactly who you
Toronto.
Yeah, don't worry, son. Yeah, he's a Toronto professor.
Oh,
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's yes.
I want to tell you a story about.
That's also really good. That's also a really good Kermit.
Unfortunately, my Kermit does kind of go into Jar Jar though sometimes.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Let me tell you why women are inferior.
Always be sure to wash your balls. Yeah.
But the thing is, I can only do Kermit if I start by saying Kermit the Frog here.
Yeah, Kermit the Frog here. Yeah.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan Peterson here.
Like fucked up misogynistic Kermit is also a fun thing.
Oh,
don't besmirch Kermit like that.
Can I feel like enough time has elapsed that I can tell this story on a podcast.
Please do.
Sure.
I don't know where we're going here, but I want to hear it.
A few years ago, I was hiring for a role on my team at GameSpot, and I was in particular looking for a host and a writer and someone who was quite funny. And I ended up hiring Kurt Indovina, who's fantastic.
Who's funny and good at hosting.
Yeah, funny, great at hosting, great at editing.
Yes.
Ticks all the boxes. I asked for a reel, or, as is common in a video production job, asked for a reel or some like evidence that you've written something. And someone sent in, and I've saved it. I know I shouldn't have, but I fucking saved it. It's comedy writing. It's a comedy writing portfolio.
No.
And they wrote a skit. It's not good. They wrote a skit where Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy go on Anderson Cooper, and Kermit is like, I'm not making light of this situation. This is a very real problem that happens. But Kermit is wearing a badge that says "He Too," and they just make loads of jokes about Kermit the Log, and then Miss Piggy beating up Kermit the Frog.
Sure.
And it's like this
Something that
whole
does happen.
abuse thing that they made up with Kermit the Frog, and then for some reason Anderson Cooper is the mediator.
That's actually the only funny part.
Dude, no, but then they also there was another skit in there which was a Maury Povich skit
Oh, fuck.
with the Virgin Mary and Joseph, and they do the whole "You are not the father."
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, this person did not get the job.
Yeah. Hey.
It stuck with you. That's the
But
true sign of great
it's
comedy.
Genuinely. Oh, there was another one where they did the Animaniacs song, but with members of the Trump family.
Okay. Next email comes from AJ from Arizona.
There was one other thing. I'm sorry. Can I?
Please,
Because of the 9 Inch Nails nature of a comment that I saw in our chat, Lucy, where someone said Kermit's cover of "Hurt" is 10 out of 10. So,
No.
what would
No.
I hurt myself today to see if I still
what is it?
Feel.
try to
What is it? I forget.
he's like try to push it.
Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here. You are someone else. I am still right here.
I will make you hurt.
It's Not Easy Being
That's
Green is
awesome.
basically Kermit's version.
Yeah,
Kermit's
that is
version
sick.
of that.
We got to bring that on the road. We got to bring that on the road.
So anyway, if you Just, you know,
into a burning ring of fire. Okay, sorry. I just
all
need
the
to.
cash.
Yeah, you gotta get it off your chest. We
I
gotta
just need to get it off my chest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Same with me with the fucking Kermit Miss Piggy story. It's just like it's something that's haunted me for years, and now I hope it haunts all of you.
Yep. It's your burden now, chat.
Problem shared is a problem halved.
I don't know how we even can try and follow any of that. Jeez. God.
We got any from the Discord you want to go to? Anything like that? Or
Here's a little bit of a longish email.
all right, let's do it.
And we'll end with this from Trevin from Indonesia. Shouts out to Indonesia and all my Indo homies. Hi, Bomb Crew. At the end of voicemail dump truck 37, Jess mentioned the game where folks are chasing a duck in an arena blindfolded. The clip was part of an annual Indonesian independence tradition where the neighborhood would get together and play a series of games. Although that specific game went viral because it was kind of new. I would like to hear some of your strategy on two of the more common games played. All right.
Fuck, this is such a good question.
First one. Ready? It is called... and I apologize, I'm not going to try and pronounce the Indonesian...
Can I try? I always mess this up so bad anyhow. And I'm not even going to try to do an accent or anything. I'll just say it as Jeff Grubb.
Okay.
So you say what it's really called, and I'll just go for it.
Eat the cracker.
Lamba Mackin Karopuck.
Okay. Step 1. A fish or prawn cracker, usually the size of a sunny side up egg, is tied dangling on a piece of string. 2. The contestant must eat the cracker with their hands tied behind their back. 3. First one to eat it all wins.
I would simply eat the cracker.
No. But
it's
how
like
high up
dangling.
is it suspended?
Dude, if it's dangling,
Like, is it mouth height or is it like head height?
It's probably like just like maybe forehead height.
I'm acting it out.
Yeah, because I feel like, and stay with me here, friends, but I feel like you got to come from under.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you have,
We can't go to the side, is what I'm saying.
I was trying to do a thing where I was like, the hands behind the back. I have a really long neck,
unhinge
so I
your
feel
jaw, and you go, like the fucking
like a
thing.
whale.
Phantom Menace.
But it's gonna be
like
too
the Phantom
big,
Menace
so you
comes up
can't-
and eats those. There's always a bigger fish cracker.
Okay,
But it's a big cracker.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me
big. You can't just stick it all in your mouth.
let me try and pull up a picture for reference to show
I'm also
everyone.
struggling with the size analogy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah. Sure. Yeah.
sunny
Here we
side
go.
up. I mean, that could be.
Oh wait,
you know.
y'all don't see the program. Sorry. Let me
No.
fix that. There we go. There's the
Oh
cracker.
shit! Okay, so it's big.
That's the size of a boy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
what
a
the
paper plate.
Oh
like,
wait, but that kid's got a small
Some of them
one.
are smaller. Some of them are smaller. It's
I
like
don't
a
like
rice
the ones
patty
with-
sort of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that top left one.
Rice.
That
rice-
looks about
whatever you-
right.
Right.
Yeah.
The size of a donut. Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Or a Rice
Oh,
Krispie
right, okay,
treat. You
so-
still just come over the bottom and you just get
you
your
got
mouth as big as you can.
Yeah,
and
but
you
then what if
you go in with your teeth first?
No. You go tongue first, and you.
No, you're gonna juggle it. You're gonna bumble it.
this is how I eat popcorn?
yeah.
Lucy, keep going.
So I'm trying not to act it out too bad because
Yeah,
it's just ripe for the
you're-
photoshopping.
you're-
You get it.
Uh-huh.
Teeth. Use tongue to clamp.
Sure.
Get it. Make it still. Chomp.
Yeah.
'Cause the
Yes,
main thing
tongue
you're
is
gonna
a
have to worry
stabilizer.
about-
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
need to stabilize that shit because if you try and bite and you miss, or if you misplace,
disaster.
it's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Shim it with your tongue, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, second game. Grub, are you ready for... this is probably easier to pronounce. You ready to pronounce
go
the
for
second
it.
one?
Yeah.
This has the best name of a game ever.
Uh-huh.
The second game is Climb the Greasy Pole.
Panjat
JoJo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Grub, what was that?
Panjat Penang.
Right.
Right.
Yep. This is actually, Lucy is correct. This is actually an entire episode in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we already know what to do.
Climbing a greasy ass pole.
We channel.
Okay.
Come on.
The directions are
The list of prizes here is so good.
a bunch of prizes, groceries, money, blender, bikes, etc., are tied on top of a tree or pole, like a pine tree or a wooden flagpole. The pole is drenched with grease or oil, making it super slippery. Contestants must climb the pole without any tools and grab whatever prize they can get. Think of a ladder match. You can work together or every person for themselves.
Oh God, is it?
I don't
just,
trust other people.
Yeah,
so.
Let's approach this the four of us. The four of us, right?
Okay, well, then
Okay,
we're just
yeah.
doing like we're doing like human ladder is
Who's
what
on the
we're
bottom?
doing.
I'm going to take
Grub's
a
on
real
the
risk
bottom.
here, and I'm going to Google search "climb the greasy pole," and I'm going to see how this goes. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, we're standing
know
on
what-
shoulders, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on
I
the bottom. You
volunteered
stand on my
you for the
shoulders,
bottom.
and
I'm probably
right, yeah, no, I'm fine
third.
with that.
You know,
But
Then I get the
what if
bike on
someone
the first
betrays
day.
us?
what if someone?
Oh,
what now?
that's
What if someone
true.
betrays us? Because it can be every
Oh.
man for himself.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we're getting the money. We'll
So
pick
this
the,
is what it looks
oh,
like. So
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's
Did someone
pretty
put the
cool.
blender up there?
There's
Someone's
a
like,
bike up there. That's incredible.
I got a
So-
question. How do they get the prizes up there?
Well, they probably have
Ladders.
a ladder or a forklift. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that
Look
is
at the
so
bikes up
greasy.
there.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
they're just straight up bikes.
What a peculiar tradition. I love it.
Have you never seen the cheese rolling in the UK?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, that's another one that we should do. The cheese rolling.
I like. I searched this and then I found a stock image photo and it's just titled "Greased Pole Climber." The guy looks very happy.
Yeah.
It's pretty tall.
guess
I don't know if the four of us could do it.
No, I think we
No.
could. I think what is that? You're talking almost 24 feet. We're gonna get.
Yeah, so
I
I'm
mean, come
5'8".
on.
Grub, you're 6, right?
I'm 6 feet exactly.
Bakalar, you're
5'10". Yeah.
okay. All right. So we're almost there.
5'7", most
All
of
right.
neck.
It's important. We're there.
Lucy, are you afraid
You
of
know?
heights at all?
No, not really. I
Would
think
you
I'll be
feel
okay.
comfortable grabbing a bike on top of a greasy pole?
While standing
you
on the
just gotta, like-
shoulders of Jan Ochoa.
You just gotta
Who's
flick it.
standing on the
Yeah.
shoulders
You
of
just gotta
Bakalar.
flick
Yeah.
it.
Well, no,
Yeah.
if it
Fall.
falls, so can't someone else just take it? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
'cause
that's
what
ours.
if it's
do you
pinata
get
rules?
down?
Like as soon as the
every
candy
man for
falls.
himself.
This is a variation of a
I mean,
pinata.
okay. Is it against the spirit of the game to try to knock down the pole?
Is it against the spirit of the game to knock down your fellow competitors?
No,
are
that's
all good
definitely in the
questions.
spirit. That's definitely there. Yeah.
I feel like that the polls that you showed were knockdownable, or at least at the very least shakeable.
Yes,
Oh,
shakeable, right,
shakeable.
yeah.
I don't think you can shake. No,
know,
they
like-
look tied on, man. I don't think you could shake.
Shake this pole. I'm gonna shake this
Also-
greasy pole.
Yeah, a bike falling down a greasy pole sounds like a good way to get like a broken pinky or something. Like you're just trying to grab that thing and it just snaps in half.
It's
Yeah.
a slippery slope, Any
Nice.
weird actions happening can will have other
That's worse
ramifications.
than my wow.
It's up there.
So I've
Neck and neck.
seen another one where the prizes are just written on pieces of paper. You
Oh.
can't shake. The paper is tied. by-
Oh, that's
There you go.
that's
So
good.
they've thought about this.
And then you bring
Yeah,
that
that-
ticket to the counter.
Yeah.
And they
was that
exchange it
was
for
that
the
done in
bike.
America where there are lawyers on hand and they're like, we got to make this safe for people?
Let's make this less fun.
Grease pole champ. Here's how to climb. Well, I'm intrigued. Hang on.
Well, if the country of Indonesia wants to bolster their tourism industry, I have a podcast that is willing to climb a greasy pole and
yeah.
and partake.
We're ready.
Trevin also
go.
writes in other common games include tug of war, sack race,
Yep.
marble race, etc. I've attached some references to the game for the crew, and honestly, the idea of the crew playing any of these games are hilarious. Regards, Trevin from Indonesia. Thanks,
There are no
Trev.
greasy
awesome.
pole
Great.
games on Steam as of right now, so we can make that game for
It's
us.
in motion now, though. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be in Roblox before.
Oh yeah.
Before we're done.
Well, I think that about does it for the emails. Thank you for sending your emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com. Apologies again. I guess it is just not your friends, huh? Apologies again for not getting to the Discord questions. We'll try and get to that next week. I feel like there's something been in the back of my mind that I feel like we should just mention. Just a little light tease.
Oh.
But Jan, the repercussions.
The repercussions.
But Jan,
Yes.
have you thought this through? I'm
No,
kidding.
not at all. Not at all. Let's just say we're planning to do something in October.
Yeah.
A live streaming
Halloween.
thing in October.
Yeah.
Perhaps like the first week or so.
Can we say the P word?
Oh,
What? What is the P word?
Physical? Like physical
challenge?
Yeah, I mean, R.I.P. Olivia Newton-John, you know.
Right. Yeah. P sounds. We'll do it physical event together
Perhaps.
in October.
Yes, in October.
perhaps is the P word.
Yes,
Perhaps.
yes,
Got
that is the P word. Yeah, maybe a big thing. It's a live thing. I mean, it's big because of the breadth of the stream.
It seems
And
like it's
big
both those
because
things.
we're
Yeah.
big. Yes,
Yeah,
big and big.
I guess we should show it. So there we are. We'll just let that hang and everything. We have an obscene amount of things going today. I'm not going to flash up the image because last week it played music. I don't know why it did. But thank you, Jeff Grubb, Lucy James, Jeff Bakalar, Jason A. Stryker, and Jess
you.
O'Brien for joining me on the Giant Bombcast today. We'll see you next time for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. Played.
The P sound. It's here.
I realize this isn't the one with credits, so the Giant Bombcast is hosted by me, Janet Shoa, with assistance by Jeff Grubb. Oh, wait, who stopped it? Who stopped it? Who stopped the music? All right, Lucy James,
Government.
Jeff Bakalar, Jason A. Stryker, Matthew Rohr, Dan Reichert, Timur Hussein, Jess O'Brien. I'm sorry if I forgot anyone. Our art is done by Dave Shopnick, and our love shouts out to our sweet little art boy. The music is also done by Tom Monda. Tom Monda. There we go.
Come on.
And yeah, we'll catch y'all next week.